Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Media Buff Guys, the podcast about anything and everything media related. I'm your host, Ed, and my co-hosts, Lane and Matt, and joining us once again, my lovely wife, Jen. I'm speeding through the intros because there is a lot to talk about in this episode. But before we get into that, a quick word from our affiliate, Maono, which Matt wants to take on that quick little segment.
If you've listened to us beforehand, you know who they are, and they're the reason why we sound so good. So go buy some stuff from them and help us out. You get 10% with our Media Buff code at the end of every purchase.
Well, it's actually just for each first purchase, but there's no reason why they can't just make new accounts.
That's true. Or just have family members buy, friends.
Exactly, yeah.
But
plus the code stacks with any item on sale. Well, unless it's like a special discount. But either way, definitely go to the website. Affiliate link is in my YouTube page. You can also find all my links on my link tree on Instagram. So, with that being said, let's get it started. Episode 8, the season finale of of House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon.
You could just say a Song of Ice and Fire.
A Song of Ice and Fire titled The Queen Whoever Was.
Whoever was.
And like I said earlier, there's going to be a lot, so strap in. If we will try to keep it in the 2-hour mark, but no promises. No promises right now. All bets are off. I know Matt has some specific topics he wants to talk about, and Lane is going to break down the entire episode. So take it away, Lane. Take it away.
Well, before we break down the episode, I do want to
you want to do your topic now?
Yeah,
okay, go
I want to say
it.
it because I said I was going to talk about this first.
I thought we were going to...
Fucking HBO over here bringing up some dumbass shit about, like... What were they talking about?
You're gonna complain. Know what you're gonna complain about, Matt.
Well, what they're doing is they're taking what's her name? The girl that chased the dragon, Raina. They're taking her and making her story a different character story. They're taking that other character story and making it hers. And then an HBO exec is like, reading the books is just open interpretation. No, it's not, you dumb motherfuckers. It's the source material. Like it exists for a reason, and it's written the way it is.
Aneurysm alert.
Well, he does make a point. They're trying to make it seem like that, like
this other character doesn't matter. It's like okay, you sit down and watch Dragon Ball, and then. Like, Goku's story is now Luffy's story from One Piece.
Oh, right.
Like, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, they didn't really come out and say, hey, we're going to do this piece by piece from the source material.
Well, you would think George might have, like, told them to.
Fuck George. He's fucking... A, it's taken him 12 years to write The Winds of Winter, and B, they gave him so much money, his fat ass is just bribed, just soaking it up like a sponge.
Well, that's what happens when a passionate fan has a complaint, and I'm guessing a lot of people are agreeing with you because there was a post on social media about it.
Well, I think the biggest issue is that they're trying to say that it's all very vague and there's nothing written about the said character or really implies that this character really was something, but the character's name, there's a description, she's in the history, like, to say, like, it wasn't a big deal and that it's okay to change it.
They retconned her.
Because it's just passive interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
No one interpreted, like, this girl may or may not exist. Like, she factually existed, and you guys, like, erased out her story and gave it to...
Raina.
Well, they gave it to Raina and a little bit to Bela, too. But mainly Raina in terms of finding the dragon.
Oh, damn.
But it's like, it's not so much that I'm upset that they deleted the character completely. It's just that if you're going to do it and you're going to change it, at least make the changes good and entertaining.
Yeah, naturally, yeah.
And, like...
And we've had a lot of conversations about that.
Yeah, like, wasting just, like, a whole episode and a half of Reina just running through open grasslands. She's starving. She's dehydrated. It's like it's boring, and it doesn't really say much for her except for she's just a young kid making dumb decisions for a dragon, and it just doesn't give her much depth in terms of like her decision. Once she gets the dragon, it'll be a different story, and they'll do better stuff with her. But I think like they could have done a little bit cooler in a way.
And all those scenes they show her running through the open grassy fields, they could have filled it with something else that was more important and just showed us her catching up to the dragon eventually. We didn't need a whole half of an episode of seeing her run.
She could have got the dragon.
Well, maybe this is trying to show her tenacity of getting a dragon.
Well,
and being maybe potentially down the line the ace in the hole.
Well, we already knew she was tenacious about it because she brought it up every other word in each of her scenes.
Well, now they chose to show you that tenacity.
I feel less than everyone because I have a name dragon. I'm dragonless.
It's just one of those things that you wonder about it. Yeah. One of those things you wonder about it if it was the right move, and George R. R. Martin is kind of like George Lucasine right now.
Yeah. And then the other thing is just Reina and Bela are their own two individual characters as well that have their own important storylines that didn't have to add more to them to make them more interesting. They were interesting already. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
You know. But whatever, it's fine. Like most of what happens with them is like at the end of the dance and then also after the dance, which they will not be covering in the series. So I guess make them important while we can and make them more of the main story while we can, because their importance is not going to be in any series. So I get it. You know, I also get it. I'm on, like, you know.
You're halfway in, halfway in. 1 foot in,
I'm
1
like,
foot out.
yeah, I'm like a double-edged sword. I'm like,
I will agree with Lane that if you're going to change something, do it in a good way. Just don't come out and be like, we're going to do this because we can.
Yeah. Anyways.
Moving on.
Moving on. Back to the topic at hand, which is, again, the last episode of the House of the Dragon of Season 2. So, Lane, just go.
Okay.
Let's get it on. Let's get this done.
So the intro changed. The last bit adds a bunch of extra dragons in the tapestry. I don't know if you guys watched the intro.
Oh crap, we skipped
every
it.
time.
You guys,
you fucking loser.
He's like, oh, we already know what's gonna happen, so we don't need to watch the intro, so he skipped it.
So the last episode they added like a Vagar, and then a Cyrax dragon, and then all the other dragons on Team Black, and it looked like they were all flying to like
to battle.
Yeah, and they added that to the tapestry, which was cool. And then you had to pick which dragon was which. That was a fun game. So the
Lane paused it. Lane paused it. Immediately whipped out her phone. It was like, okay, so that's Vagar. That's an easy one. Is that Vermithor or Caraxes? No, that's Cyrax.
Yeah, the ones that got kind of hard were like the ones on the outside.
Silverwing.
There looked like there was a couple
Smoke.
red dragons, which I was like, wait, why are there two red dragons? There's only one red dragon now. We only have one red dragon. Anyways.
It's like, there's a blue one? Where did that come from?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was wild. So that was fun. And then we start out in Essos with
Thailand
Lannister, who is
Tyrell.
Tywin, Tylor.
Every scene with them and
Tadpole
was hilarious. He just could not get his name right.
No, they were doing that on purpose. They were just being jerks.
Yeah. So he's in Essos, which is where the Triarchy lives, and he is trying to persuade them to help.
Yeah, lend them their ships.
Yeah, they need their army because the blockade has been blockading.
Has been doing his job.
And everybody's starving, and they need to clear it out. And so, you know, Tylan's there, and he's just kind of offering, you know, what was on the list of things he can offer. And these guys...
well, they were asking for like 700 coin a boat or a person. Because they said, we want 700 of your golden dragons And then Thailand's like, per boat? It's like, no, per person. It's like,
Yeah.
how much is that in Game of Thrones money?
A lot.
I mean, if it's gold, that's gotta be a lot.
Well, gold back then was like...
Well, gold is a precious commodity regardless,
Yeah,
but I'm willing to bet that
like,
since it's more abundant, it's probably worth $1 here or there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you take a gold coin and you look at that like as it's a whole dollar, and then like your silvers were like 50-cent pieces.
Yeah, and your copper pieces were like pennies.
Yeah.
Copper is always going to be a penny.
Anybody did the math in there?
Either way, I tried doing the math, but I didn't really find anything on Reddit about it. But 700 a man? If we were to go ahead and compound it to like currency that we have now, I'm willing to bet, because even Thailand was like, that's a lot, and they were like, dude, you're the richest family. Are they the richest family?
Yes, the Lannisters are always the richest.
And then like that's like your home is literally paved with gold, basically. Mm-hmm. And even he said like that's a lot for a man. So I'm willing to bet that's easily $1,000, maybe $1,200 per person, which
times how many men?
Times how many men? Yeah, like 100 men per boat. That's $12,000 right there.
Well, the pirates also put it into perspective as well. They're like, well, because he tried to negotiate, like, well, the blockade is this. They're like, well, we get our money anyway.
Yeah, I like how Thailand
pirates.
I like how Thailand was like, the blockade is affecting you guys too. No, it's not. Yeah, we'll sell where we are, blockade or not. Screw those guys.
And they said like, we're just gonna charge taxes and that's it. And
well, that was their like offer, because they tell Thailand like ultimately like, what do you want? It's like, we want the steps back. And he's like, why the steps? And it's like, don't worry about it. We'll run it well this time. We'll implement a tax, whatever that could be. Because I doubt it's always going to be
pretty
money.
much a toll.
It's for to get the money.
No, I'm getting that, but at the same time, you know, they're pirates, so it could be something else, or it could be more than what they expect. But at the end of the day, the deal they offered them, like, we want the steps. We'll let you guys use the path that, you know, goes between them to get your merchant across, and we'll just tax you guys. And to Thailand's response is like, okay, I'll do it, but Amon's probably going to kill me for that. And then their rebuttal was like, with our army, dude, you could probably take King's Landing for yourself. So if you want to do that, you let me know. We'll put you on the Iron Throne ourselves. Chinese or not.
And that did appeal to him.
He did kind of pause. It was like, foreshadowing maybe?
We'll see.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, if you follow like the history of
super foreshadowing
of Ice and Fire, there's always been a Lannister trying to weasel their way onto the throne.
It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately they kind of agree to the terms, but only if their commander, someone named Sharako Lohar, agrees to sail with him. Basically, it's someone they all respect. And Lane, why don't you kind of just tell the listeners about this character? Like,
so Sharako Lohar is like the commander of like all of the ships. So they are essentially pirates that get bought out by whoever has the most money to afford them. Essentially. And since the triarchy is consisted of like 3 free cities, and then it's just like a council? Or
representatives. There was like 3 representatives from each one, from Mirs, Lys, and Tyrosh. We didn't get their names, huh?
No,
they never mentioned. Because
even in the subtitles, it just says Tyroshian representative or Mirish representative. It doesn't actually give them their names, but they clearly represent their cities there in that instance.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sharako Lohar was also I believe also the commander when they first went to war with them in the Stepstones with the Crab King, and they hired the Crab King to go out there and like...
Oh, okay. So the Crab King worked for them.
Yeah, they hired him to go out there to try to take the...
That's actually kind of smart.
Yeah, the Stepstones.
These are some pretty smart pirates, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to really get their hands dirty. They're just going to hire people to do it for them.
Yeah.
They have money, like they say, like... The funniest thing about Westeros is they are they live in a bubble where they think like they're just like so much more progressed than everyone else because they don't have they got rid of slavery. Yeah. Where the rest of the world is way more progressive. Like there's way more money out there. There's way more power out there. There's magic. But they still use slaves, so that's kind of like, I guess, seen as like their downfall in a way. Hence the Daenerys
that's what I was
roaming
just about
around
to say.
and freeing everyone in Game of Thrones.
You can see like how more advanced and civilized they are with Daenerys' storyline on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But also, the people of Westeros are very look at you through their nose. They don't really...
You can kind of get that feeling, yeah.
Like, it's essentially England back in the day where they thought they were better than everybody else when they didn't realize that these people have trade set up. They have income. They know how to communicate. They know how to make their own plans and be conniving and all this other shit. Just as they're on par with Westeros.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So pretty much the thing is in order for Tywin to win over the full army, they have to win over the respect of the commander.
By beating his ass.
Yeah. And they say, like, they will not sail with a man that cannot best them.
Yeah.
So
that was the quote. But that it's funny because they don't go to the next scene from there. From there, we go to freaking Aemond, who is just towards the
ass man.
Who has just torched a city called Sharppoint. Why? I don't know.
Because he's a pissed off little child.
And Sharppoint, the Lord of Sharppoint is Team Black.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Was that a place that they used kind of to recruit some of the dragon seeds?
No, the dragon seeds came from King's Landing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
because I remember Maesira said that like there's actually some here in the area as well, but they mostly recruited from King's Landing. I thought maybe Sharppoint was one of the
here in the area, as in Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Because the thing that the series doesn't really do a good job of showing is that Dragonstone is big. Like it's not just the castle. The castle that the Targaryens live in. There's like small villages around there, and there's like
land.
A whole like there's like villages and stuff that
it's its own little city
exist there as well. But they never show
the map of it. I saw how big it is.
Yeah, but they never show like the small folk of Dragonstone. They really just kind of make that just like Rhaenyra's castle, and she's the only one there.
Kind of think about like this, Ed. It's you play Skyrim, right?
Yeah, I played it.
All right, so you know how you have Whiterun and Riverstone?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like that.
Okay.
It's its own hold.
Either way, that scene was like, damn, this motherfucker is tripping right now.
Yeah, so he's mad because he at this point, he just realized that Rhaenyra has extra dragons.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think he also found out that she was able to recruit dragon riders through the recruitment.
Yeah, because essentially, if you look at the map...
Yeah.
If you fly south from Dragonstone, you can, flying towards King's Landing, you can go right next to Sharppoint or right over Sharppoint. And since they're 14 Black, he was just like, on his way home, he was like,
screw this place.
I'm gonna fucking burn this place.
Also, he probably did that on his way back then.
That is, exactly. On his way back to King Landing, he from Dragonstone after chasing Silverwing there.
Damn.
He burnt that place.
He's as a fit, it's like, man, this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
fucking child.
That's essentially what Allison says later.
Yeah,
right?
and then from there we go to King's Landing where Orwell is he's tending to Aegon, and in comes Larys, and he pretty much breaks down everything that's going on. It's like, so the so-called usurper of the throne has found dragons, and it's like, that's not possible. Which he says, like, well, it is because it happened. And then he tells him that like we need to leave.
Well, he tells him that his brother burned down Sharppoint.
Yeah, Sharppoint, and he tells him like we need to go.
And then he,
because he's probably gonna come and kill you now.
Aegon's response is like, that fucking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, even he knows, like,
that's not
that's
good,
not
that just
the
goes
way
to show
to
you
do
that
it,
the
you
kid,
know?
the kid, even though he's a little turd, he has a bit of a moral compass,
Well, that's what I've always said about the
Yeah.
guy. Like, I like him. Like, he's not a bad dude.
He's just misguided.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Doesn't
what it is.
know his job.
Yeah, like,
That's because his mother didn't love him enough.
or teach him. But it's also like what Lane said in previous episodes. Like, they just put him there and they tried to play him like a puppet.
Basically,
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, he's telling him that it's like, we need to go because he's basically probably gonna come and kill you next. And he tells him that he moved all of Harrenhal's gold to Essos, to the Iron Bank of Bravos.
Yeah.
With 2 A's. Yeah.
Bravos is where I believe that's where Rainier is trying to send her kids to Bravos, right?
No, I thought they went to Pentos.
Oh, Pentos. Gosh,
Yeah.
it's the O's. No, Bravos is north and Pentos is
South?
south. Yes, I get them.
Lane has a mental map.
I get
She
the
can just
two
reference.
like swapped around because they end in O's.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and Aegon's kind of against it at first because he's like, I don't want to go live with the goat banger.
Goat fuckers, I'd just say it.
Yeah.
and he even tells him, like, he's kind of down on his, like, he's a little depressed. He's sounding like, I also lost my wang during the whole thing.
Oh.
It exploded. When he said that, I don't know, the first thing that came to thought, I don't know if you guys ever seen this episode of South Park when they're talking about gluten. And they were making a rumor that if you drink gluten, your junk shoots out like a rocket.
Yep.
So when Aegon said that, my first thought was like, oh, so he just shot out of there? And then Mr. Mackey's like, oh, you see that? He shot out like a rocket. Either way,
He also compared it to like a sausage on a campfire.
He did say that.
I was like, when he said that, that's when it gave me the mental image. And I was like, that had to hurt.
That had to hurt.
Totally
yeah.
a callback to fucking Ramsay Bolton. He's like, no, it's just sausage.
Yeah, but I mean,
Why did you bring that up, Lane?
I thought you got it the first time I had it in my own.
but Larry's kind of like just drives his point and tells him like,
I've done what I can to make that scene disappear.
It's
Oh my
back,
God.
baby, it's back.
but yeah, he's trying to drive his point, basically telling him like, Rhaenyra and Aemon are probably gonna end up killing each other, and when that happens, you can just come back and collect the pieces, come back as a hero. What did he say at the end?
What he said?
He says like, "Oh, Westeros delight" or something like that.
No,
Aegon.
so he started giving Aegon all these titles, like Aegon
the savior.
There you go.
Peacemaker.
the Peacemaker, Aegon
The delightful.
No, the Aegon the Rebuilder.
There you go.
And then Aegon picked Aegon the Realm's Delight.
There you go. The
Yeah.
Which was what Rhaenyra's name was when she was a child.
Oh, that
When
was
she
her
was a
title?
little girl,
Yeah.
she was known as the Realm's Delight because the
Was he
people
aware of that?
loved. Yes,
Yes.
that's why he said
Yes.
that.
Oh, look at
The
that!
Realm's Delight.
Full circle again.
Yeah, so he picked that.
Freaking Game of Thrones and their circle
They
references.
do it. But then he also mentioned Sunfire's dead. Or dead.
But in the books, did she die?
Yes.
In the book, Sunfire lived, but is like grounded.
Permanently?
Yeah.
She can.
I
I heard
thought-
that she can
No,
only
no.
do spurts of flight, and that's it.
Aw.
Like she
Yeah.
couldn't really fly.
And then they've just been feeding her like,
I thought
they've been feeding her and
poisoned
keeping her alive.
When they
Yeah.
poison Edmund.
No.
Yeah, but she can't
No.
fly like.
Because he
full
does
on
die.
fly.
He gets poisoned. Like, they poison his ass.
Well, it's way later.
Yeah, that's
Dude, I got into like the whole thing of her.
another deep dive right there.
Spoilers, motherfucker, spoilers.
Yeah, but either way, he reluctantly accepts, and then we go to the next scene where, okay, these are the scenes. We're gonna be complaining a lot about these scenes, so just like bear with us. Anything to do with Rhaena in this episode, I don't think any of us liked.
I
It
just
was
like
lame.
Raina. I like Raina.
We
I just
do. That's the
hate-
thing.
That's the
We
thing.
like
I
Raina, but
and
these scenes were dumb
Yes.
and unnecessary.
Yeah.
They were the Allison equivalents of the previous episode.
Like, what I... Like, what I said at the beginning of all this. It like they could have easily just showed her getting the dragon, but they could have given us this one scene of her running off, fill the rest of the show with all her scenes, just fill them up with important shit.
True.
And then towards the end of the episode, and maybe towards the end, they show her that the scene that we got.
Exactly.
That would have been perfectly fine.
What were you gonna say, Jen?
No, it's just that there's your filler. Like I told you.
Yeah, but such a bad filler. Such a bad filler.
Well, filler ain't supposed to be great.
Fillaring is filler.
Either way,
it's filler.
Either way, we go back to Dragonstone, and Jacaerys finds Ulf and Hugh in the council room, and Ulf just being the Ulf that he is.
I got super annoyed with Ulf. I really started to dislike him because of how he was acting.
Well, considering how elevated he is now, he has a swelled head, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but Hugh...
He had a swelled head the entire time, but this only just made things worse.
No, but Hugh, on the other hand...
Hugh is a grounded individual. He was never going to turn into...
But, but it's also, the contrast between them.
Oh, yeah.
Hugh was a working man. He's been to the court, so he knows how to talk to superiors. And where... Ulf has just been sitting around in a bar or a tavern at that time, getting drunk and telling all these stories about how he's part Targaryen.
Yeah. So he has a swelled head, but that wasn't really surprising. And even just Sarah's don't piss me off, or what is the quote he says? I will hang you and have the dogs feast at you.
No, I will beat you. I will have you beaten in the streets and leave you for the dogs to eat, to kill you or eat you or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then Hugh has to check him as dude, that's the prince, that's that's Rhaenyra's son. And then Hugh's like, oh man, no, not Hugh. Ulf is like, oh buddy, hey, what's up? He gives him a hug.
Rustles his hair.
We're all the same, you and I.
No, you are not.
Bastards through and through. No, I think that's what he meant. I think that's what he meant.
But no, they're not the same. He's the fucking prince. You do not touch the prince.
And that's what Ulf points out. It's dude, that's the prince. Show some respect. And even Ulf kind of realizes you know what, you're right. My apologies, your grace. And he kind of tones it down. But Ulf, Jacaerys is just still pissed about the whole thing.
Well, I would be
Were you
too.
gonna say something, Jen?
I'm just saying his broodiness stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
and we get a little more into that in a little bit.
But it's totally warranted. That was completely not okay.
No,
and then for him to just be just straight out, just be them trying to tell us we aren't Targaryens or something like that. Pretty much just straight out.
He was calling
Jace a bastard right to his fucking face.
He was being too formal, too quick, too familiar.
Yes. All I'm gonna say is
even
if Jacaerys would have
chopped off his head,
and just be we gotta find a new dragon rider, I would have been done, good. Fuck it, feed him to your dragon too. Feed him to the dragon too.
I mean, that kind of disrespect does warrant brutal punishment.
And we get into that in a little bit.
Got off so easily.
We get into that in a little bit later, but in this next scene, Rhaenyra is talking to the new writers and basically. Oh no! She's actually talking to Corlys about them.
Yeah, she's in,
and she's in Driftmark with him. She's she's still on the fence about them because she doesn't know anything about them.
No,
not a diddly, which is surprising because
which Corlys does bring
up. I
up.
thought Hugh Hammer was a very I thought he was someone that the family knew because isn't he the guy that built weapons?
He's just a blacksmith.
Yeah, they just know him as the town's blacksmith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Rhaenyra has no.
I don't even know if he's
involvement in that.
Town's blacksmith. He's just one of the blacksmiths in King's Landing.
Yeah.
Sure. There's more than.
But she does. Yeah. But she does ask Corlys about Alan, who he knows personally, and I like what he says right here. He's like, I don't know much about him, regrettably, but I'll probably get to know him better. It's just one of those.
But I hadn't given him much thought in the past.
Corlys just the bad dad vibes, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
Father of the Year right here, folks.
One that shows up for graduation and pictures.
What are you gonna say?
But dude,
when you win the NBA trophy,
right? Yeah.
But I did like the way he said that. But he's an honor man. But regrettably, I haven't had much time with him. Than a person, but he still spoke. No,
he spoke highly of him.
Yeah.
and then he tells Rhaenyra, it's like let's skip that conversation now, and then let's talk about what you need to do. You need to strike ASAP. Which she reluctantly agrees.
But also before that, before the conversation they had about his illegitimate son and him trying to skip over it, Corlys brought up some really good points, like we don't really know these people, we don't know how they're gonna act.
Oh no, that's actually Rhaenyra. She's the one on the fence about the whole thing. She's like, I don't know these people, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but Corlys basically told him, like, you gotta put that aside right now because this is necessary. And he assured him with Alan, so I think that kind of put her at ease.
Okay.
But then he changed the subject, like, right now you gotta attack them because, and she's kind of on the fence about it because like I don't want to go out and just blatantly start attacking people. It's like, no, this needs to get done. Like, you have the upper hand right now. And she's hoping for that deterrent, which I keep telling you guys, some people don't listen to that.
That's true. You're right. But
you need to physically take them down.
Yes.
No, but you're right. I mean, some people don't listen to a deterrent, but 9 times out of 10 people do listen to a deterrent.
Yeah, but when they themselves have nothing to defend themselves against, but they still have their own weapon, even if it is just one. Vhagar may just be dragons. Vhagar may just be one dragon, but it's a formidable dragon. Even if all of them attack her, she still might take out 1 or 2 of them.
But then she will die.
No, she will die, but at the cost of thousands of people's lives. And Rhaenyra wants to avoid that.
If it's done right, that's the huge thing too. Like,
they're not warriors. Rhaenyra is not a warrior. That's why she wants to end things peacefully. She's not a warrior. And then Corlys basically just tells them, like, even though their biggest dragon, Vhagar, is probably the only one they have, he can still convince Helena. And then we get another mention of Daeron, who might leave Old Town, even though Rhaenyra doesn't think of it. And she even says Helena won't go to war. Like, it's not her taste. But freaking... we find out later that Aemon ain't having that, but Corlys just tells her, like, you gotta attack right now. And, to change this conversation again, she tells him, like, oh, so you guys are ready to go on your way to were they going to the blockade lane, or where were they going?
Yeah, they're going on their way to the blockade.
To reinforce it, right?
Reinforce,
okay.
Yes.
So basically, it's like, oh, Sea Snake looks good, like it's ready to get out into the water.
One of my favorite parts of this
which
episode.
Is the name of his ship. And yes, this is an awesome, just beautiful tribute to his wife, who he mentions, and he says he renamed the boat to Lane. What was the name of the boat? The new name of the boat?
Oh, the Queen Who Never Was.
I know. A tear came to my eye.
I know. I was like, oh, good job. And then he says, like, what I do now, I do for her.
Which is a callback.
Yeah, for sure. But that scene was really good. And Corlys did make a lot of good points, bringing up, Daeron, and especially Daeron and Tessarion, because they right now are, as they mentioned in the last episode, he's taken flight, or Tessarion has taken wing or flight or whatever, which means, like, they are actively marching with the Hightower army. So
that's right.
The Hightower army does have a dragon.
Yes.
So that's, but then, she's like, well, he's not so much bigger than, like, Vermax and Moondancer, or
which
whatever.
are pretty small.
Which are small, but
dragon nonetheless.
But they're still they're still dragons. They burn some shit. So,
but then Corlys makes a remark saying that there might be another player to reveal itself. So who do you think he was talking about there?
Daemon.
Oh, Daemon.
That's why the scene went to Daemon.
To Daemon, like, walks through the door and it's like,
okay, so then we see him in
speaking of, we go to Harrenhal, and surprise, surprise, next scene and following episode, he's not tripping balls when we enter Harrenhal.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's so used to it by now that he's just, like, numb to it.
Well, we don't see the visuals anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a sense of normalcy since he turned his tune. And we'll get more into that, of how much he turns his tune.
Basically, he's, like, walking around the hall, and this random individual just tells him, like, hey, so my sheep got sold up north, but I got some pigs. Does Caraxes like them? It's like, Caraxes likes bacon.
Yeah, Damon's like, oh, well, that's his favorite.
Yeah,
He
he's
loves
like,
some pigs.
Give me some of them pork bellies.
he's like,
Yeah.
feed him that rump roast.
Right.
And then freaking Alfred Broom finally shows up after what, 5 episodes?
Yeah, like at least 4, 3.
Taking his
Yeah.
sweet ass time. I
said-
know it's a trek and it's gonna take days and
You
shit.
see, this is why I told you Alice Rivers couldn't have made that trip in 3 days.
Well, she did, because she's weak.
Well, Alice Rivers is a witch, and she
She is.
she
That's what I
summoned a
was saying.
magical horse, and it ran
Exactly.
nonstop
This
at
guy
120 miles an hour. All
This
right.
guy took 3 episodes, which is like the equivalent of
a
like
month? Right?
Yeah, at least probably
Half a year.
At least.
Either way, dude, like, it's just so, like... Because I was even asking James, like, where the hell did this guy go? He's like, he's still not at Arnold?
He doesn't have a dragon.
Reina was literally there, and then came back, and...
Yes.
That's
They
how
don't have
fast dragons are.
Yeah.
yeah, but...
Power of flight.
And then freaking, again, you know, being the dealweed that he is, he asks Damon for some private time.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, not that kind.
No,
No.
basically...
But very close.
Basically-
Considering what he tells Damon and, stroking that ego.
Turn cloak.
Dude, it's just crazy. Like, anytime you see Damon kind of like putting his ambitions aside, there's somebody there to stoke the flames again. Because Jen had pointed that out, because his ambition had gone down when he had married, who did he marry? The first?
Bela's, Lena, there you go.
Lena,
Bela's
yeah.
mom.
And then what happened? She stoked the flames.
Yeah.
She did, but also like when she did it, it was kind of acceptable.
Either way, like, the whole thing comes full circle. What were you going to say?
It's kind of like, well, she's trying to do the thing where, like, the wife wants him to do more,
And be successful.
Yeah, and be successful. Like, not the fact, like, not go ape shit, but
Yeah.
just do something more,
She
like.
should have learned how to, like, properly
Yeah.
stoke the fire, You don't want to engulf the flame. You want
Yeah,
a
but then-
small amber to burn
that's why-
evenly.
But
As
then
far as-
again, I was wondering if that was because she wanted that. She wanted a change of, like scenery of life, get out from where they were at. Or was that Corliss's doing?
Oh.
Why they were in Pento?
Yeah.
No, it makes
When
sense.
she said, like, when she's trying to get him to, get out of there because they've been there for months now.
Yeah, because it'll put Corlys closer to the throne.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
And future Valerians.
Yeah.
Maybe.
well, that's enough deviation from that. But anyway, we
It's
see
just speculation, folks.
we see
Yes.
Damon and Alfred next to the wayward tree, and the moment Damon starts talking to him, we hear something whispering in the wind.
It whispers traitor, and it's talking about fucking Alfred.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny that Alfred goes like, "What was that?"
And Damon's like, this place will just drive you up the walls.
Yeah, he says like it'll
Like
make
howling
you bark
at the
howl at the
moon.
moon.
Yeah.
But he's so like that's what I'm saying. He's so used to it by now. It's like, oh, don't pay attention to that. It'll drive you crazy,
Yeah,
but you'll be fine.
You be here long enough, it'll start to happen to you.
That's why Sir Simon is a fucking diva.
Yeah, but
I like him though.
Lane, what a,
I love
He's
that
the
guy
diva
too.
that we all needed in this.
Yeah, he is.
can you kind of go over what Alfred was telling him
Yeah.
the whole time?
So pretty much Alfred was sitting here saying like, I was loyal to your brother. I'm loyal to his heir Rhaenyra. I would never turn against you and side with the Greens. But Rhaenyra's kind of fucking up right now. And she has good intentions, but the realm needs
A dude.
a king.
It needs a dick.
Needs
Yep.
a penis in
A
charge.
Yeah.
Appearance.
And so, pretty much by like him saying that,
Yes.
then Damon's response is like, "Oh, Alfred, I didn't take you as a turncoat." Like,
I like that term,
And
by the
then-
way.
Yeah.
Because it's like their
Yeah.
version of turncoat.
Yeah.
I like
yeah,
that.
whatever, turncoat,
Cloak and dagger.
Yeah, whatever. So, and then that's when you like, as he's like explaining all of that, and that's when the traitor happened, and then he's like, "What's that?" And then he keeps explaining it, and then so then after that interaction, you can just kind of see it on like Damon's like face, like he's like
smirking.
I might have to fucking
He's
watch
got a
this,
point.
bro. But like at this, he does have a point a little bit, but then also at the same time, I feel like it also like put him on his like I gotta watch this guy radar.
Yeah.
You know, like I
But-
don't feel like I can actually trust this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to like betray Rhaenyra essentially by, you know,
Using me.
Yes.
using me, you know, so
And what's to stop him from betraying Damon
Down the
and so-
line, yeah.
down
Yes.
the line, and so on and so
Yes.
forth.
Yeah, what were we gonna say, Jen?
No, but I just like the way that he asked for a private audience with him, but Sir Simon is just like just listening
Simon
to every,
is, like,
and he's not
the
even
best
clever about it.
character.
He's just like standing right out the door, like
It was so obvious he was listening in, and they didn't pay no mind to him. Like he's just standing there. It's like, don't mind me, you guys. Just a fly on the wall.
yeah.
Just a diva on the wall. Don't worry, I'm just fanning myself out here.
and then he's
It's
just like
hot.
taking notes. Like I gotta let you know this shit is happening right
Yeah.
now.
You just gotta love
I'm gonna
Simon.
write this in my
man.
diary
Simon.
later.
You just gotta love
Best
Simon, dude. He's
character.
the unsung hero that we were not expecting.
No,
Yep.
You know, dealing with Aemon's crazy ass, dealing with Alice for even though we thought he couldn't see her. And then
Right.
just being so nonchalant about everything. It's like, oh, your Grace, like the Tullys are here and they're pissed at you. It's just so awesome.
oh yeah,
King
that character's just very good.
Consort.
Yes.
That part.
What do you?
Consort.
You just put extra syllables
Yeah.
in that word.
He enunciated. You just gotta love it.
Yeah.
And then we go back to freaking King's Landing when Aemon just arrived and basically not Jasper, oh yeah, Jasper, the guy you don't care.
You're right.
He's like, dude, what did you
Jackass.
do? Like, what did you do? It's like, I burned down that place and what?
But then he
like-
mentions like, oh, like
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra had like got people dragon seeds.
The dragon seeds, yeah.
From King's Landing, and then was able to ferry them out to Dragonstone, and then of course Aemon's response was like, "Well, we got to check all the boats now, and they have to get inspected before
Search
they
and
can
seizures.
go anywhere. Like
That's
they got
how
to
it
get
turns.
fully,
That's how it starts. Search and
fully
seizures.
searched,
Unlawful search.
And then
No
you know,
warrants necessary.
Jackass was like, but the people, they need those boats for fish, and he's just like, well, they need to not get like fucked over by the
By the dragons too.
right. It's pretty much like what's gonna be worse, like starving to death or getting burnt by Rhaenyra's dragons. I'm like,
You
neither is
decide.
terrible. Like
Yes.
what? You're such a
Those are the choices.
psycho.
The mentality of a dumb kid, basically.
But yeah, but you
Well,
can see.
Also, psychopath.
yeah,
and-
that too.
In all honesty, if I had to choose between starvation or being burned alive, I'd be burned alive. At least I'd die quickly.
yeah, but
Not
you would
slow and
die in
painfully.
excruciating pain.
Yeah, but it'd be fast. Not like.
I don't think it'd be
It
that
hurts
fast.
to fucking starve to death.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that
it's a
too.
long process,
I
and
guess.
it's extremely painful.
Yes, because you're gonna drop the weight. Your body's gonna start eating itself on the fat.
Either way,
At least when the dragon burns you, it hurts, and then you're dead.
either way, this is
Well, and depending on which dragon burns you,
that's
it
true.
could be really quick.
If it's Vermithor, it's
Okay, then
instant.
get
It's
the front
Vhagar,
seat,
yeah,
and then you get
instant,
roasted.
for
in
sure.
You're good.
You sit there praying. I hope I get a good dragon.
It's like sea smoke. Oh man.
Max,
Yeah.
fuck, you know.
Either way, this is the scene where we see his craziness just like really peer out.
Dude,
'Cause-
and
what were
oh,
you
wait,
gonna
hold
say?
on.
Go.
No, and Jasper, did you see the fear in his eyes? Like,
Mhm.
this is who's leading.
He just realized he backed the wrong horse.
Oh shit.
This is the scene where like we see him barge into Helena's room and Allison is in there with her and she's asking like, "You want to go away?" She's like, "You want to get away?" And then Helena's like, "Where would we go?"
Well,
we
Helena,
can't be
like-
found."
Makes that comment. She's like, I was happier before I was queen. And then
Yeah.
it pans over to Allison. You know, Allison's face is like, yeah, me too, girl, me too.
And
Which
I
is
mean-
essentially like what the realization that she has come to, like
Yeah.
in these last few episodes, why she went and floated in the lake for like a whole episode.
Also, I really
realizing that she was happier before she was queen.
I want to bring that up too. Like, when the fuck did Allison get back to the Red Keep?
After that swim, basically,
Yes.
she told Rickard, "It's like, okay, I'm done."
Yeah. She basically saw the light, and I was telling Helena that
I was just
that
like,
he could be happier.
Like, I thought she was fucking camping, and now she's back talking to Helena.
Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck?
Well, it wasn't gonna be that long, but then we see Eamon barge in. It's like, hey sis, so I'm gonna need you to take your dragon and join me to fight these guys.
Which is the worst decision ever.
And she's like, hell to the no. It's like,
she stands up. She's like, I'm not gonna burn anybody.
I'm not gonna kill anyone. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
pretty much hinting that she knows.
Also,
she's a pacifist.
Yeah, but not only that, like taking someone like her and like forcing them into battle, a lot of your own people are gonna die because it's gonna be a scared soldier.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like somebody who can't properly aim a gun. Yeah, basically, literally in this case. And he basically tells her like, "Too bad, so sad. You're doing it." And for the first time ever, Allison actually defends one of her kids.
She's a good mom now.
Hey, Gwen was right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Better late than
she's
never.
always been kind of a little bit more, protective over Helena because I feel like
she's aware of her.
She can relate to Helena and she can control Helena a little bit better.
That's
than her
true.
Crazy sons that are running around doing whatever the hell they want on their fucking dragons and the brothels, like wherever the hell they may be. And I think she really is trying her best to try to keep Helena from having the same kind of life that she
I'm
had.
gonna do good by this.
Even though Helena's fate was
Never too late.
already sealed for her, they
we
decided that
we find out something very cool about her. Were you gonna say something, Pip?
What?
Are you gonna say something? Oh, okay. Either way, she defends him and she goes like, he's like, dude, you're going nuts. You're off the wall. And it's like, she needs to do as I say. And it's like, kind of like how the people you burnt down. Like was that the kind of retaliation you're looking for right now?
Mm-hmm.
What, Viv?
I like the fact where she says to what cause? It's like, but it's like not like this. It reminded me of the Matrix, where she's just like not like this.
Oh yeah, that scene where she's like, it's like this isn't how we do things,
Yes.
and it's like just trying to get through to him. He reluctantly leaves and it's like fine, whatever. But
even Allison, for as terrible as she is, she brings up the whole point of the small folk.
yeah,
She's like, you just killed a bunch of the small folk. They're the ones that's going to help us in the end.
Because you were upset.
Yeah.
Because
You were
your
throwing a
ego
hissy
was
fit?
hurt. Yeah, you were throwing a little fit.
and
You
then
just killed a bunch
and then
of
after
people.
this, freaking Allison goes to poor Orwell again. At this point, Orwell's just got defect. Although he's been taking care of Aegon, but dude, I just Orwell was like, he must just be fed up with Allison.
He's just like,
I think with just everybody there. They're
He's
like,
fed up
damn
with
green.
all of the Red
Yeah,
Keep.
all the
like,
greens.
I am working for some shitty ass people.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the guy, but he kind of brought it on
But you
himself.
know what?
He did.
I do like the fact that even though he doesn't agree with a lot of what they do and say, he's still very faithful.
Well, he's a doctor.
servicing.
He's a doctor. He has that
Yeah, but I
Hippocratic
mean,
oath.
but anybody else could have just fled somewhere else.
That's true.
Like,
He could have easily gone to King's Landing. He's like,
Yeah.
Your Grace, I don't want to be with these crazy people. Can I please be here?
yeah,
And I'm willing to bet Rhaenyra would have accepted him because
Yeah.
knowing his character, knowing how he is,
Mhm.
because he tended to her as well.
and to the dad was there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Either way,
He was wishy-washy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not really giving definitive answers or
well,
anything.
him and Jasper, dude, the two of them just constantly feeding off each other, but they're both two dum-dums that don't know what to do.
Yeah. So they often put themselves in bad situations.
They just don't know any better.
They're just they're just making the decisions that are keeping them alive.
Exactly.
At this point. They're just
Yeah.
I'm just agreeing with these fuking crazy ass holes
And-
because I don't want to die.
Yes.
They're gonna
And then-
kill me if I don't agree with them.
And then from this scene, we go to a really funny scene, and Jen was really laughing about it. Why did you talk about it, babe? I know you like
What
this.
scene was it?
Is the one where we see Cole sniffing the boob rag of Allison.
Oh,
yeah.
I need me some titty
This
smell.
Yeah. It's like, I have forgotten what she smells like. Let me see.
That thing was filthy.
No, and then Sir Gawain like sees him doing that. So like, you were fucking my sister all along.
I knew you were fucking my sister.
He's about to chop her
before
I saw those eyes you were making at each other while we were leaving this time.
Cole's like, oh yeah, so, we've all made our mistakes and stuff like that. You could have made them too. It's like, no, but I'm an honorable guy. Like, I had an oath and I'm still keeping it, Which
and so are your men.
Not sleeping with women.
He was like, you're fucking the queen. And he was like, well, she wasn't the queen when I fucked her. So. She didn't do anything wrong, But you did something wrong, bitch. You're not supposed to be fucking anybody.
Yeah. And he's like, if your men can keep that oath, why can't you?
So his response was like, you sure about that?
Right.
And you see just Gawain, the defeat in his face. Like,
no, but you can also see Sir Cole is like very, how can I say this? Depressed and like, just like, oh, what the fuck? We're gonna die anyway, so we might as well do what we want, like
nihilistic. He's taken over like a very nihilistic approach to everything. He's just like, nothing matters.
Yes.
Who cares about anything?
Yes.
Nothing's important. Fuck everything. We're all just gonna die.
And then you see Gawain like immediately take a seat next to him.
It's just like, oh,
I was like, man, he's got a point.
Point, bro.
And then he's like, I can't kill him now.
One of the reasons I really like this scene, like Jen has been wanting Gawain to kill Cole the entire time. And then the fact that Cole just disarmed him without even lifting his sword, he used his words and just defeated the guy.
And I'm just like, how does this father could keep using words to just get out of shit? He doesn't even have to fight.
Cole is fucking smart, and that's what makes him a formidable swordsman and a fucking, battle tactician, all this other stuff. But also, like, I do like how he's just like fuck it all because
he has run out of FCOs.
Yeah, and that happened during the Battle of Rook's Rest.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, and he points that out. It's like you and I have seen, because actually one of the quotes that he says is actually a pretty cool one. He goes, "The dragons dance and the men are dust under their feet."
Yes.
And basically that is what happened because as Melis and Vhagar were fighting, a lot of guys got burned down, not just by Melis, but
Vhagar.
Also by Vhagar.
Mm-hmm.
And in Sunfire when she was dropping her blood all over the place.
Yep. Squished
So
stepping on them. Yeah.
That made Cole realize, like, we're just cannon fodder. Mm-hmm. Like, we are expendable individuals, and we're probably gonna die. So I don't really care anymore. You want to kill me? Go ahead.
But also, like the conversation afterwards that he had with Ellison and other people, like the higher ups don't give a fuck.
They really don't. What were you gonna say, Jen?
And to add something else that I totally glossed over with when Cole was speaking to Gwen, he was saying that, like, oh, you know what? He spoke highly of his sister. That's probably one of the reasons why he like put his sword down.
Oh yeah, he says
because
that she saved him.
That she saved him
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, okay,
she
this guy is talking nice about my sister. I can't kill him now.
And now she's a beacon. She's my beacon.
He does say
he
that.
uses the Hightower slang. He's
but
like,
I just
shit, he used the magical term. I can't say no to that.
But when he said that, my first initial thought, she didn't seem like your beacon when you left her high and dry when she was trying to get you on her side, and you're like, we should listen to Aemon.
We should make Aemon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I can't listen because you gotta have a JJ.
He was doing an Orwell.
Hey, leave about it.
But no, but you know what? I think Cole finally realized how insignificant they are when there's a war with dragons.
Tell me about it.
You know? How small you really are.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, fuck it. We're all gonna die. It doesn't matter which side or whatever, you know?
He's like, maybe I should
because the dragons are not going to be able to distinguish, he's on this side, so I can't burn this way. They're just going to burn.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like...
Yeah, it's just funny because the entire time Gawain is holding a sword up against his head, and then Cole just disarms him with his words.
Completely.
Yeah, and then we go
funny.
And then we go back to Essos where Tylan is wrestling Sharako and pretty much getting his ass beat, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shirako was beating the
Mud
shit
wrestling.
out of him.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
Old school wrestling.
And but then
We're
Thailand
babes in the bikinis.
then Thailand finally gets the upper hand, and
I gotta say, I
It's a
didn't
good
even
hit.
expect that from
no,
Thailand.
me either. No one did. I think. And that's
He
why
was
everyone
extra
was just
strength
like, oh,
Tylenol right
shit.
there.
Thailand was like Tylenol.
Straight up gave her a 1-2.
AM or PM, Ed?
AM or PM? Yeah, PM
Yeah.
definitely.
But
Yeah, and then they announced that like, oh well, you're gonna come back, and then we're gonna have a feast.
Like you ever eaten human flesh?
There were some people meet before. He was just like,
Oh, that was
he's like, what?
great.
They were not joking, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what they say. They say they were joking. They were not joking.
Well, they were joking because if there was only seafood on those tables.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah, and
It's
then
like, oh, you reject
Yeah.
my hospitality?
He's
He's like,
my
oh
house?
shit, what do I do? What do I do?
like I guess I can eat a toe.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Dragonstone, and freaking Chase with his poutiness is like pouting, and Bela comes in and has to be the man in the relationship.
Yeah, she really is.
I like
She
Bela.
calls him out
She's
on his
awesome.
broodiness.
Dude, like Bela's like
She's
constantly
like,
like,
oh, do you want to sit at top of Wayne Tower and brood over Gotham?
dude, for real.
No, dude, like, but also Bela's like, have you noticed that she's got to set her grandpa straight? She's got all the men in her life. She's got to like nip
Oh
in
my
the
god,
bud.
you're right.
You see that?
Because she did that with Lenor también.
Yeah.
Because when Lenor was like, I don't know what to do, it's like, snap out of it, go live your life.
She's a strong woman, that one.
She really is.
She
you
took
know?
after her mom.
She's a salt and
She
salt
was-
and sea.
Yeah, Lena was
Oh,
very
yeah,
strong.
she is.
Yeah.
She's
And
definitely
don't-
just like her mom.
Yeah, and I
That's
mentioned
scary.
grandmother. I mean,
Mhm.
my niece.
Yep, Rainy's. the
But I mean, it's
grandmother.
sweet how she's like building him up, you know,
Mhm.
because his issue with everything right here is that his claim for being the next in line is at risk. He feels that is at risk because he's also a lowborn. And she's like, dude, that aside, you're not the only one. Like, you honestly think you're the first bastard to be in the throne?
Yeah. But, like, also, like, I can see Jason's point of view. Like, I mentioned it, like, the last episode where the Targaryen bloodline is of literal blood and fire.
Yeah, but I think they're getting to the point where just they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, none of the higher-ups care anymore.
Well, it's more important that the dragons.
Yeah.
Like, they need to know that you have enough, like, Targaryen blood in you
Yes.
in order to be accepted, because, you know, we've seen what happens when they don't accept you.
Oh, yeah.
So strong.
So, like, the more of a, like, the more of a bastard you are, the less of that blood is, it's weak, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, like, she does bring up a good point, like, of, like, you're not the first bastard, you're still royalty, you're still, like, ahead of the class.
Yeah, and
Yes.
to reiterate, your mom picked you. They have to do what she says. Go be by her side.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you said you got to prove them, you know?
No, and she points that out. You already proved yourself
Yeah.
on multiple occasions.
Yes.
Like, this isn't a what if scenario. This is a done deal.
Yeah, like when he went to talk to the fucking people at the Twin Bridge.
Yeah, he did a good job
and the
there.
North-
Did all that negotiation.
Yeah, the
And the
twins.
North-
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So she's
He
basically
recruited the Starks.
she's basically
Yes,
like trying to knock some
basically.
sense into him.
Yeah.
It's like, snap out of it.
Yeah, but it's because he's heard that all his life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, always, they were always
get that,
pouring
yeah.
on him and
They
his
threw the-
brother, you know?
The bastard word at him
And his
all the
brothers,
time.
yeah.
So he's always felt like he's had to like prove
Prove
a point.
himself,
Yeah,
Yeah.
work twice as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody
and
else?
that's a sad reality, you know. Like, in
And then all fucking like really like threw like exactly his fears like right back in his
Yes.
face.
yeah.
It's probably what
You know
made
what
him
I
probably
mean?
start, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Again.
the
The
exact
doubt.
thing
He
was-
cast a doubt.
Yeah, like the exact thing he told his mom he was scared about like happened essentially. Like
Mm-hmm.
now these like
Lowborns.
lowborn like bastards like think that they're on the same level as the rest of us because they have dragons,
Exactly.
you know. And then that's when Bela's like, I'm not the same as them.
Yeah, you compare me
She's
to
like,
them.
I'm not the same as them. But
It's like, you're saying that about me, motherfucker.
He's like, hell no, I am not the same as them, and you aren't the same as them either. So shut up.
We're actual royalty.
Yeah.
Hey, this boy.
Right.
He makes it. He makes it really hard to like him.
Well, it's like
Teenager.
he gets it also from Rhaenyra, because Rhaenyra, Miss Sarah's always the one.
That is true. Yeah.
You know, like, girl, get it together. You're
That
strong.
is true. Yeah.
Believe in yourself. You know, do this.
They both have their own
And
personal
then
traits.
what you can't do, I will do. You know.
Plus, Rhaenyra has been a very protective mom over her 3 bastard boys.
Yes.
No, it's true.
No,
that's sad to say, but that's true. Like, she's overprotective of them because she's trying to keep their trying
Lineage,
to prove everyone that they're not what they are, and so she's just extremely protective over them, and that is now flooding over into not letting Jace be
Consumed
his
by it,
own person,
Yes.
play the role that he feels like he needs to play.
Yes.
She's not letting him do it because she's so protective of him, and she doesn't want anything bad to happen to him because that's her heir. And I get where she's coming from as well, so that's why he's so upset.
Yeah, and then we go to another filler scene with Rhaena.
Rhaena, she's cold.
Sleeping in the cold.
She's cold, and she's trying to sleep in the cold.
Has holes in her shoes.
In pursuit of sheep stealer.
No dragon
She's
still.
She's
no
a
nothing.
regular old
like, girl, why didn't you just
Twist.
tell somebody you were going out there? Just be like, let me get a bag of some food.
Also,
let me get
again,
some water.
How did nobody notice she was gone, dude? How is there no search party out there?
Do you really think that bitch in the veil is gonna go looking for her
I'm
ass?
not talking about them. Like, Joffrey would have been like, hey, so where's my cousin?
Is anybody gonna listen to a 60-year-old?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Joffrey's still in the veil. He's
Oh,
still
that's
with Lady
right.
Erin.
Yes.
It's only the youngest
So the kids,
ones.
yeah. But nobody
little
who
ones.
was with them, none of the ladies in waiting were like,
Well, she was-
so where's the princess?
She was, if you noticed, she was behind everybody. Like, there was nobody really near her.
And nobody noticed that.
Well, that's why she's like, if I leave, nobody's gonna notice. She was like, right at the end.
Just goes to show you that their security are just the worst.
Security in Westeros sucks.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
I could have gotten away
everywhere.
with so much there.
Everyone does, clearly. All these bastards running around. Right?
Anyways, we go back to Dragonstone and... Oh, no. We go back to Essos, the Triarchy.
And Thailand is singing his
I like this
shanty.
song. Anybody want to sing this song? You guys want to sing it together?
No.
Come on. I'm going to sing it. You want to sing it?
We'll sing it.
Okay.
Here
come my lads, my comely boys, and split your sacks ashore.
So off key.
For you'll be sailing many days before you get some more. So grease the mast and send it between the wind and water. Hoist me lads and hoist again. Salute the captain's daughter. Yay!
Yay!
For the record, I looked up that song to see if it was like an actual song. And I literally searched the whole thing, and for whatever reason, Butterfly came out. You guys know that song? Yeah.
Butterfly?
That was the first thing that came out when I searched it, because I did a Google search of the whole thing, of all the lyrics. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that comes out was the song Butterfly. And I listened to the whole song wondering, like, is this the lyrics in this song?
Which, by who?
What's it called? Hang on. Butterfly. You're my butterfly.
The guy just died.
Come, my lady.
Yeah, by Sugar Ray. Yeah, come, my lady. Yeah,
it's
that's
not Sugar Ray.
It's something town.
Crazy Town.
Yeah.
There you go. That
it is Crazy Town by Crazy Town.
Wait,
Butterfly. Was
there a lyric in there?
I don't know, but either way.
You're welcome.
I was strong with the tongue ring.
Before we get a copyright strike. Either way, that's the first thing that popped up when I did a Google search of the whole song, which I thought it was kind of interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Either way, like, great song. I liked it, and obviously the people in the Essos liked it because they started doing a little, not a chant, but they applauded him. I wonder if that was like his initiation.
They're like, dance, monkey.
Either way, they're having a party, everything's chill, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to bed. And here's where freaking oh my god, what was her name? Sharko.
Yeah.
Sharko! Sharko's better. Sharko.
Yeah. Sharako sinks his teeth in him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, I like you. I want to have children with you. And he's just like, okay, all right. And she's like, yeah, I want you to fuck all my wives. And he's like, how many wives do you have?
We didn't get an answer, by the way.
Death by snoo.
Yes.
Death by snoo.
But she just looked at him and said, like, virility.
Right? Hope you got some good stamina there.
I mean, it's just one of those scenes where, like, Thailand is just, like, keeps getting all these, like, things coming at him. And he is just, like, does not know what to do about it.
At least he's having better time here than he would
he
in Westeros.
He really is, because in Westeros, Aemon would have been like, do as I say, motherfucker.
Yeah, at least here he's able to prove himself, and they're accepting him.
Exactly.
That's true.
And then from here, we go back to the Dragonstone, where the Dragon Seeds are having dinner. And this is the scene you were talking about, Matt, where Ulf is just being just the most obnoxious dumbass.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. And it's funny because it gets to the point where Jacaerys is like, mind your tongue. And then we see Rhaenyra's bodyguard grab the sword. It's like, you better watch your mouth, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, like that card is you just fucking say the word, Prince, and I will have his tongue for you.
Hell yeah.
Because, like, you can't have that kind of disrespect.
Oh, and Rhaenyra points that out. What were you going to say?
But it also drives the point where Chase is like, man, like, they're going to get
But like that's just Ulf.
Like, what they're going to do, like, they might try to overthrow,
No, yeah, that is driving his whole, like, this is the people you want at our table. This is the ones you want to make knights. Because Rhaenyra tells them, like, after the war's over, we will knight you guys. So you will be technically considered high-ranking officials. And Ulf is like, hell yeah. And the entire time, it's like, I want more birds or...
Little birds.
And freaking
the little birds.
I like the little birds. But like Hugh and
Ulf.
No, not Ulf, the
Alan.
Yeah, Ulf and not Ulf. But Alan and Hugh, they're both like super respectful.
Yeah, Adam.
They're adequate, and like Hugh has been through a lot himself, like losing his daughter and things like this. So for him, this is like a mission of like honor, you know.
Yeah, no, he's finding his worth.
Yes, there you go. He's finding his worth. And for Alan, this is his chance to prove himself to his father.
Yeah, Corlys. And he wants to be somebody.
And he wants to be somebody unlike his brother.
Yeah.
Which we will
touch on that.
We'll touch on that in a little bit because that is actually a really good scene.
It really is.
And like it shows such a huge contrast between the two.
Yeah.
But talking about this scene, like I just like how I love how Alan like he's sharp, he's quick as a whip.
Yeah. Let me set up the scene. So basically Rhaenyra is telling them like there's a good chance like you guys got to start, training. You have 2 days to get ready cuz we fly in that time. And Rhaenyra, Ulf is like, hell yeah, man, Silverwind can take on Vhagar, no problem. Which is like not true because she's like half his size, not even half his size.
He's just being arrogant and dumb.
And then here's where Alan goes like, we'll know soon enough who the coward is.
Yeah, because Ulf makes a jest at him about like being a coward, and then like Alan just looks out.
We'll find out who the true coward is. And I like the fact that Hugh was like just quiet the whole time.
But and that shows the difference between Alan and Ulf.
Adam.
All right.
Alan. Oh, Adam. Yeah, sorry.
Adam. Alan is the older brother.
Yeah, Adam.
See,
even we keep overlooking him.
I'm like,
it's so bad.
You guys are not talking about it.
It's so bad. Okay, it's so bad. Even we're guilty of overlooking him. We're bad.
Yes.
But Adam with 2 D's.
Not just overlooked by Corlys.
But like,
he's not my son.
Like that dude has been a shipwright for his life.
Oh yeah.
He's seen combat. He's seen some sketchy shit. Where Ulf has been drinking his life away.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's why I love the remark that he made. He's like, we'll see who's the real coward.
Yeah, that entire scene, Ulf is just like, not only is he being an annoying jackass, he's also driving Jace's point
Yes.
of these are the people we don't want in our council or in our
But
table.
luckily, you have two that know how to conduct themselves.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
2 out of 3 is not bad.
that's not bad. That's a passing grade.
It is.
And then in comes I don't know who it was, but it was a random individual, and basically tells Rainier, like, "Hey, so we
It's
got."
the maester.
It was a maester, okay.
Maester.
And then he basically tells Rainier, like, "Hey, so we got word that Damon might be betraying you. Damon might be betraying you at Harrenhal." And she goes like, "Oh hell no!" Like, I saw her take off her weave, and she's like,
Take out the hoops.
I'm gonna knock this mother out. And here's the part where I feel she kind of made an error, where she tells Adam to fly out with her. And you see Jace and the look in his face. She has no idea the damage she just caused right now by asking Adam to fly out with her.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
Jace,
She should have asked her son.
not only did he look heartbroken, he looked scared. If you saw like, he stood up a little bit because he was gonna go with her, and then she goes, "Adam, you're coming with me," and the look of like, you could see his heart breaking.
Yeah, but
Because he was trying to do what
yeah.
Bela had just told him to do, like, go be by your mom's
Yeah.
side. So he was going to be by
And
his
you can
mom's
even see
side.
Bela going like
This bitch.
"You dumb
Yes.
bitch, you do have
It's
no
like-
idea what you just did."
Right.
I just build them up to you squashed them.
But this
Right.
goes back to what Lane was saying, that Rhaenyra is way overprotective.
Yeah.
It's obvious she didn't ask him to go because she doesn't want to risk him getting hurt.
That's true. But also, I think Renita didn't really mean to do that to hurt her son. It's just the way I see it is like I think she took Adam just because she wanted to see, if he was an upright guy. If it was,
Well, it was that, and Sea Smoke and Cyrax would have had a better chance
Against
Caraxes
Caraxes, yeah.
if Damon actually did go against her.
Turncloak.
Turncloaked her.
Yeah, that's
And-
true too.
So it's just more like a tactical.
And
it was.
also, when she's gone, Jace is in charge.
That's true. Yeah, the
So-
president and the vice president can't be in the same
yeah,
place.
Yes,
so
you
she
can't-
had to leave
yes.
Jace because who is going to be in charge of Dragonstone?
That's
and
true.
keep
Yeah,
Dragonstone while
but
she's
he's
gone.
not gonna see it like that.
No,
he is
no.
not
Because
gonna see it like that.
he is
No.
just still a kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just a kid.
Maybe.
And
My life
Maybe
is-
with Mom, if Renata just talked to her son and say, you know what, we both can't, go.
I mean,
out
she
together
could have
to
said,
grab
she could have like looked to Jace as like,
something.
"Hey, I gotta go handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye on Dragonstone. I'm gonna take Aemon because you can't come because for obvious reasons."
Adam, you mean?
Adam.
Still
I'm
keep
saying
looking.
I'm
Aemon in
sorry.
the Black President.
I'm sorry, Adam. I
so
swear,
bad.
I swear, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm sorry, I really am.
Corliss.
No, I'm a terrible father. Either way, actually, one thing we also kind of forgot to mention, like as Rhaenyra is telling him, like, you guys need to get your dragons ready because you might have to start killing people. Bela was like, "Oh, you really sure we should do that? Because
It's
I mean,
innocent. Killing
we're
innocent
killing
people.
innocent." And even Ulf kind of look, you can
And
kind of see like
Hugh was like,
Yeah, Hugh.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hugh went to this knowing, like, seeing that this would be his true calling, but also like that. That
still
dude
a-
has a good heart.
He's a stand-up guy.
He-
Well, I don't know how good he was when he killed that guy for the cabbages.
Well, he just knocked him out. But that's also
Last time I checked,
I didn't
you-
kill him. The ground did.
Last time I checked, you don't get knocked out when your neck gets turned around 360.
But that's
Well,
also desperation
yes.
too.
No, I know. No.
But
Desperate times.
I mean, yeah.
And his daughter had died.
No, yeah,
so-
no, yeah. You're 100%
That
right.
dude
I just like being a jerk.
He's just like soaking the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either
In the
way,
flames.
but yeah, I mean, Bela and and Hugh were like not on board with this tactic, but
And then Jace was like, "What must be done in war?" Like his little like backing his mom.
exactly. But either way,
That's what Bela told him to do.
Yep.
as they're leaving, yeah, like the look on Jace's face just like said a lot.
Yeah. And Bela's face said a lot.
Yeah, and then when we're in Harrenhal, well, Damon's still not tripping.
My favorite part. My favorite
Although,
part. My
go ahead,
favorite
man.
part.
Go ahead.
Okay,
No, wait,
so
wait. Oh, just start from the beginning.
Like we're at Harrenhal.
Damon
They
is
fly.
sleeping.
They fly in.
They're flying.
They're flying on their dragons. Correct, CC?
Not yet.
Does that happen?
Oh no,
not
this,
yet.
This is the scene before
This is
that.
the scene before that.
Yeah.
it?
So
Yes.
we're in Harrenhal. Scene 15.
Oh, I scrolled ahead on my phone.
We're in Harrenhal.
Yeah. Damon is asleep.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Like
I'm
actually,
I'm in the right spot.
like actually
And
sleeping
who's
this
there?
time.
Who's there? Come on.
Alice is there. She takes him to the weirwood tree and shows him a vision of things to come. She shows him the saga of Ice and Fire, which I actually had a friend like hit me up. They're like, dude, like, are they trying to say that Damon's the three-eyed raven? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think she's just sharing her power with Damon to show him what's going to happen. And it does show everything of like Daenerys and her birthing the dragons. It shows the Night King and his army rising. And then
We get a surprise individual in this little vision.
Well, it starts with the showed the three-eyed raven, who was Brendan Rivers.
Yes.
yes.
He's in the tree,
Okay.
and then out of his little.
But that was
like-
before Bran though.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that. He's the one that gets Bran to go there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was just
So
making
then-
sure, okay?
So it's that scene. Then it shows a close up of his little birthmark, right? His little
The
wine
blood.
stain
Yes.
or whatever it is. Then the
Blood
raven comes out. And then we see go into the raven's third eye. And then we shift to like a ground view. And we're running in the snow. And it sounds like a wolf. And then we run up. And then we see the White Walkers. And then we get a close up of the White Walkers. And then after that, we get a scene of dead dragons. Then we get a scene of a battlefield where Damon's walking through it. Then he falls into some water and he's sinking in the water. Then we get a picture of the comet.
Oh, yeah.
Then the dragon egg's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Then Daenerys. And then after Daenerys is when we find Helena. Oh no, then it's Rhaenyra on the throne. And then it's Helena. That's it. That's all the whole
Freaking lady, did you memorize the whole scene?
did.
God
Just-
It was
dang.
really.
How many
it was
times
a
Hey,
did
really
you
good scene.
rewind it and slow
How many
it
times
down?
did I watch it? I watched the episode like
She
three
watched
times.
it. She watched it frame by frame,
And then I
dude.
watched like a couple episodes that like deep dived into
Oh my
just
God.
that, just the prophecy. It was like
I
an
did that
hour
too.
of just deep diving into the prophecy and all the scenes.
Were you
So I
gonna
was
say
like,
something,
I think I
Jen?
did it.
No, I did. I deep dived the same thing. The prophecy was the first thing that I deep dived into.
So Aemon wasn't the only one falling into the water. You
No.
guys dove right in there with him.
Yeah, he sank, we sank,
Let
we
me know
all
your
sank.
secrets.
But that whole part with Helena just coming out of nowhere, that threw me for a loop. It's
Yes.
like, was she behind all of this the whole time, or is she just in there like to trip him out?
No. I think she just gets the same visions that they do because Helena has been having those visions. Remember when she was saying like, "Oh, you know, the
Yeah,
rats."
She's
The
been
rats
having
and
visions her
yeah.
whole life, yeah.
I mean, this does happen later,
And then the
but she
crickets stop
does
singing
mention
and
to
all
her
that.
brother that she saw him burn
Well,
her husband / brother.
no, after Helena's, then tells, Damon, like, oh, you're just, it's just a story. You're just part of
the story.
the story.
Yeah, there's a bigger picture in play.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when we transition to Helena standing in the balcony and she's saying what she's saying to Damon. She's finishing off that sentence standing there on the balcony. So she's actively like he's having that vision and she's standing there talking to him. And Aemon walks up like right as she's talking to him. So all of that stuff was
Jeez,
happening at the
how
same
powerful
time.
is she then?
Yeah.
She's extremely powerful.
But also, another person they showed in that vision was Jon Snow. I just had to make sure that was put in there because he's like the best character of all time.
Where they show Jon Snow?
Right after, I know they showed him.
Where'd they show him?
Trying to think.
What part?
You know what? Google, help me out.
Is it because you heard the wolf? You made it thought Jon Snow.
They all had
The
wolves.
wolf could
they
be-
all had dire wolves.
I mean, the
the
wolf.
Starks.
The
I mean,
wolf could be Ghost, but at the same time, like
Didn't they show Jon Snow right before the Night King?
no,
Mm-mm.
It was a raven.
Yes.
We went into the raven's eye, and then it shifted into the view of the wolf.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure they showed
But-
Jon Snow because Daenerys, and he's just as important as Daenerys. Like, I know he was in that vision because he's the promised king.
Maybe
not,
you
he
hoped
wasn't
he
in
was
the
in that
vision.
vision.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I gotta side with
any
Lena this one.
reference to Jon
You know
Snow
what?
in
We're
that.
gonna go to Discord with this.
From
I'm gonna
all
go
the-
watch that shit.
From all
Telling
the
you. He
from all the
wasn't in
evidence
it.
gathered that I deep dive, I think Daenerys was the promised king. Because remember, it's not genderless.
Yeah. She
Well,
brought back the dragon.
Yeah.
Also,
They went into a whole debate. That's a whole debate about it's because they're dragons. They're not. It's not genderless.
You're right, but also the show did retcon the books because with Jon Snow dies in the books and does not get resurrected.
Yeah.
But in the show he gets resurrected.
Yeah.
And that's a huge issue with Robert's rebellion because Daenerys is supposed to be the last true Targaryen after the Mad King.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, we're at King's Landing, and Aemon is like trying to convince Elena to help him take, her dragon and fight with him, and she's like, "Nope." 16, and she's still like, and she basically tells him like, "By the way, I know you tried to kill Aegon," and he's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
That's treason.
Yeah, he basically tells her like, "I can have you killed for that." It's like it would not make a difference.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Dude,
Like,
yeah,
I've seen it. I synced it.
Yes. The way she said it to him, though, like I can have you killed. Well, it doesn't change a thing, motherfucker.
And then she basically tells him like, "Oh, by the way, you're gonna die in the God's eye."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she also was like, Aegon's rule isn't over yet. He hasn't gotten his glory. He'll have a wooden throne, and you'll be dead.
But I mean, she's right because
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
true.
like in the previous scene where you see Desmond walking through that battle and falling into the water, that's a sign of his death.
Now his
Or
name is
Damon.
Desmond.
Yeah, Damon and Edmund. Aemon. Ass man. They kill each other.
Okay,
Yes.
and then from there, Lane,
Yes.
now we go to Harrenhal and Rhaenyra
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
Alan are full. Adam!
And Damon
Adam
says the
arrive
quote.
at
He says the
Harrenhal.
quote.
No. Then Caraxes is super happy to see
And
them
High
because
Valyrian,
he's just
by
been,
Caraxes is like, dragons? Do we
he's
get
been
to go
so
home?
lonely. And then Rhaenyra
Get me the hell
lands.
out of here!
Rhaenyra lands with Syrax, and then is greeted by Sir Strong.
Oh God.
Diva
And then-
strong.
Yeah, Diva Strong. And then see Smoke's still flying around. So then he's like, oh, thank God you came. Let me show you what's going down. And
Yeah.
she's
Well,
just like,
come. We'll just look.
Yeah,
at it.
words can't describe you. I can only show
so
you.
funny.
So she goes in
Yeah.
there.
It's like,
Yeah,
come take
right. So then she goes in there, and then everyone's in there, and no one, everyone sees her, but no one's really kind of,
Acknowledging her.
that the fucking queen is here.
They don't even bend
They
their knees.
really don't do anything, and it
No.
is, and they don't even stop talking, and it
No.
isn't until Syrax shows up and
On
is
top.
like, "Shut the fuck up!"
He's like,
like
my mama's here.
Syrax is like, "Look, bitches, if you don't
Oh my God.
acknowledge, I will burn all of you."
She's like, "Girl, I got you. You
Yeah, right.
tell me. I will
Just say
torch
Dracarys."
these motherfuckers."
Say-
Dracarys.
So then, everyone kind of is just standing around, and then you see, Damon come walking up, and
He had trouble getting through everybody.
there's a lot of dudes. Yeah, he had trouble getting through, and she...
I like that they didn't get out of the way for him.
No.
Right? And he's
The
just
the little respect they have
Then,
for him.
but at this,
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like a little shit. Mama's here.
He is walking to it.
Right? Yeah,
Like,
so he walks up to Rhaenyra, and then, right in the background, you see fucking Sir Asshat, fucking Sir Traitor just kind of, come up in front, just being and his face is just okay, he's about to tell her to go fuck herself right now.
Get her, Damon.
Get her, David. And then David's like, I wasn't expecting you. And she was like, well, that's kind of a hindsight. What do you mean? I haven't heard from you in, forever. You have this whole army. What the fuck's been going down? And, you know.
They start talking in High Valerian.
Well, no, he's like, oh yeah, I've gathered these men, and they all serve me. And then that's when she takes a step back, and she's like, well, who the fuck do you serve? Like, who do you serve? And then that's when he walks up to her and then starts speaking High Valerian to her.
Can we, like, not do this here right now?
And then starts talking, like, you know, tells her that I pretty much know. I saw the prophecy. I know what's going down. I know we're just, like, you know.
Winter is coming.
Pretty much. Yeah, he says the line.
Yeah,
like
says the line.
Yes.
Winter is coming.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
Night King marches
and she's
on
like,
us.
you sound like my dad.
Yes.
You know? Which makes me even more attracted to you.
Yeah.
Right?
No, pretty much, dude.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
She was pretty much
Incest
like,
is strong with this
Just
one.
saying, it's
Pretty much
Targaryens, right?
like
It's
my
like,
daddy's.
ooh, daddy, you got me the vapors.
Just like my dad right now. You know,
He said, like, you believe that?
And that's when he bends the knee to her.
Oh, yeah.
pretty much, yeah. And then that's when he bends the knee and, like, you know,
He rallies the man.
and you know, he bends the knee, and she pretty much is just like,
Yeah.
Don't.
you fucking leave me again, I swear to God, it'd be at your peril.
Yes.
I
And
will
he's just
chop
like,
your
I
dick off.
I can't. I've been trying to this whole time, bitch. I've been trying to leave your ass this whole time. I can't believe you admitted that.
She's like,
And then you can kind of see, she's like, wait, what? And then
He's given up at this
you
point.
stuck with me forever. She puts on the shackles.
So, like, I'm here.
she just
I'm
takes
gonna
that
be
whip
with
out.
you till, you
But
know,
during all that,
or to that,
the
till the last of
motherfucking backstabbing bitch motherfucker.
No, it wasn't. It was. He's standing there watching the whole thing. You kind of see like him in the background. He's
But
like,
crap
shit.
baskets.
So then that's when
Damon
Damon takes the knee,
gives
and
his
then
lame
everyone
ass
else-
speech.
and then everyone else takes the knee,
Mhm.
and then you can kind of see like when he stands up and then does like his like. Cheering speech. That's when he just dips out.
Yeah,
you notice he was
he-
just like, "Oh shit, I got time to go."
He's like,
He's like,
out.
I'm gonna go.
out of here before I get fed to a dragon.
Fuck y'all, I'm going home.
Basically,
yeah.
Cartman,
Pretty
I don't
much.
know.
it's like I made a mistake.
Yeah, he's like, well, this didn't go the way I expected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
He's like, man, we're not gonna get a dick on the throne.
after this is another good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like freaking this time it's Alan
Now, Alan, we
Just
finally
Adam this time.
Get a gold star.
with Corliss, and they're basically getting ready to sail off. And Corliss is kind of like trying to. I want to say bond with him, right? Like he's trying to connect with him, and he's
Yes.
telling him like,
Yeah, but so far.
You need some
Yeah.
help.
Too
I'll
late.
help you.
Yeah.
you haven't been yourself lately, and the men have noticed that. So obviously he's kind of been a little short, maybe with people
Yes.
and distant.
Yes.
And he's telling him, and then Alan, he goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry." As a like a good soldier, he goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'll do better, and I'll be a better individual for you." And here's where Corliss is like, "Dude, I'm trying to help you," and he's like, "I'm trying to be a dad." And there, dude, Alan just lays into him, and Jen loved this scene. Go on to talk about it, man. We gotta talk about it. Dude.
He's so like, do you remember? Now you noticed us now? Now you know that you have 2 other children? Do you know what hunger does to a boy? He's all like, telling him basically like
Just
Corliss,
everything he had to endure.
everything that he had inside his heart about his dad, about all that resentment and bitterness he carries against his dad.
just unloaded
Just
everything.
like Corliss tries to stop him, be like, go back to your duties, and he's like, no, I'm gonna get it
You
all
are gonna
out
listen
there,
to me.
and you're gonna
He's
listen
like,
to
you're
me.
You're dismissed. But then, yeah, Alan just fucking leans
Dude,
into him.
just
He's
like-
like, I'm dismissed? Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, and he's just like laying into him like, I saw you with your kids. I was there working as you were with your coat,
A
just
fur,
like getting some
Yeah.
meat for dinner at the
sweet meat,
fireplace.
so that way you
Yeah.
could have it after dinner.
With
Like,
your heir,
Yeah.
mhm.
who isn't alive anymore, and then the
Now you
heir
come
before
from-
them's not alive anymore. And your wife said, so now, because you don't have any heirs,
Oh, so
you
now
want to come over
We're
and
alive
help
to you.
me?
Yeah, now we exist
wanna
for you. Now that you don't
acknowledge
have
me?
anybody,
and and earlier, this is what I was talking about, folks, is the contrast between him and his brother. Like, this is why Alan resents Corliss.
Mhm.
It's because Corliss was a
A bad dad.
Well, he wasn't a bad dad.
An absentee dad.
He was an absentee dad.
It wasn't even a birthday card, Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
wasn't even like you showed
like
up to your graduation, Dad.
But
I
like,
sent you a birthday card.
they were bastard
$20
children,
for
and he
Dad.
had his heirs at the
Right, some
time.
food.
Not even that.
It's just like a scene, and Corliss, after he like shuts him up, basically, he just takes it, dude.
Yeah.
He had no rebuttal, and even after he was done, he's just standing there, head down, broken man, because he realizes that it's all on him.
Yes.
It is.
And he
It's
also
all
realized the only person that was able to talk to him like that was his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, oh
Yeah.
shit, no one's ever been able to say me, call me out like
who
this except
also
for my
bu-
wife.
Who also, by the way, pointed out, like, hey, you have a perfectly good heir there. Maybe talk to him or acknowledge him.
Remember when he's saying that everything he does now is for her? Maybe this is one of those things.
Yeah, but also
that's totally what it is for sure.
yeah, but also at the same time,
It's too little,
Corliss.
too late.
Not
Yeah.
only that, but Corliss. I mean, he's just half-assing it.
He really is, dude. He's doing the bare minimum, and on top of
Yes.
that,
I don't
he's
know
like,
to be a dad, even though I've had 2 children.
Yes.
They grew up to be adult.
Yes.
Yeah,
What?
it's like, all right, you've
Well,
done.
I guess he was out sailing all the time, so I guess he probably wasn't that great of a dad.
Well, that's
honestly.
what I'm saying.
Right?
Like, well, how much
I
did
guess
he
wasn't
even-
even there.
Yeah, like how much time did he even spend
My niece
with them,
was mommy
you know?
and daddy.
right? And then from there, we go to more filler scenes with freaking Reina. Fucking just looking for sheep stealer, and she still can't find his ass. Like, girl, give up at this. No, I mean,
No, she finally finds him.
No,
eventually.
Reina like sees him in the sky, so she's following the path he's flying
yeah,
on.
she sees him,
That's
Yeah.
the filler.
and then back to Dragonstone, and then we see Maysera and Rhaenyra.
Talking.
And it's been a minute since we've seen her, by the
Yes.
way. And we see 2 dragons like doing maneuvers. Did you guys find out which dragons those were?
I didn't figure it out.
We forgot the tree child.
What tree child?
Oh yeah.
What did
The
we?
Green Man.
Oh
Little
crap!
Green Man.
Back
during-
in
This was
Harrenhal.
that was your department, man. That was you. You were supposed to bring it up.
Back in here.
I did, all right.
as
Better Corliss.
sorry, folks.
I didn't wait 18 years to bring it up.
So the scene that we were talking about back in Harrenhal, where Alice is taking Damon to the werewood tree, we see a little nymph, right? It's like I would call him a nymph. And
Well,
It's a goat.
It's better explained in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Are
okay.
they're not the children of the...
No, they're
right?
called Green Men.
Yeah, they're called
Oh,
Green
okay.
Men, and they're like,
not to be mistaken from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
but like,
that's Green Man.
but like
Plural-
they
plural,
were
multiple
like
men.
they pretty much tend to the 3-eyed raven
Okay.
And the trees.
and the trees
They
and the
tend to
forest,
the forest.
and
Okay.
like,
So
It's
it's
like a little
guardians?
ant then.
but they were pretty much wiped out by the White Walkers.
Oh, okay.
Is that why they showed...
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
and he like slips into the tree.
So if
I
you,
was trying to figure out the correlation.
yeah, so that's why like if you were to watch Game of Thrones, like if you watch Game of Thrones,
Yes.
it
You got
pretty
2 years.
yeah, you got 2 years. Game of Thrones
2
pretty
years
much
to get
spoils House of the Dragon for you.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay, so you already know everything that's
Yeah,
going on.
and
I'm
also,
assuming
like,
that they stay.
yeah, if you're not
right?
if you're not like into the books and you don't want to read the books, if you watch the show, it explains everything that's happening, and you're able to connect the dots between the two.
Gotcha.
But if you read the whole entire saga, A Song of Ice and Fire, it's literally a roadmap to what happens.
Okay.
Ah,
So that's the
I
scene we
started.
we completely forgot, but
Oh,
we're back
yeah.
but yeah, who are those 2 dragons? Because one of them looked like sea smoke.
So at first I thought it was like maybe Sea Smoke and Silverwing.
I was thinking that too, like maybe
They
they
look
were
similar.
training.
Yeah, just practice flying.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then
And the commands.
I also heard someone said it was Sea Smoke and Cyrax flying around.
Mm.
I just definitely know it's not Vermithor.
No, it's not. But I
so
mean,
it's definitely it's either Sea Smoke. One of them is Sea Smoke for sure, and the other one I'm gonna probably guess is Silverwing. I would guess.
I was thinking that they were maybe just practicing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Well,
you know,
it couldn't be Vermithor because
I mean, they
Hugh
did.
has Vermithor.
Yeah, and he'd be way bigger.
He'd be
But
way
I
bigger,
mean,
yeah.
if you could figure it out by like the sounds, like the dragon sounds that
Nice.
they make. So
The colors look similar.
and this colors look similar. One of them does kind of sound like Cyrax a little bit, which made me kind of think, well, maybe that's actually Cyrax flying around with sea smoke.
But Cyrax is extremely red, and he's known as the fireworm.
Yeah.
No, that's correct.
That's Caraxes.
Cyrax is...
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, never mind.
She's golden.
She's like yellow gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's the pretty gold color.
but
So it's one of those. It's either Cyrax or Silverwing, and I...
yeah, but then we see Maysira and Rhaenyra talking.
Maybe it was
And
Caraxes and Cyrax.
and basically they're just like
smoke.
basically they're just going over like everything that's going on, and even Maysira's like, dude, like you got lucky with these new Dragon Riders, and she's like, I don't know,
Did
I'm still on the fence about that, particularly that chubby one.
It's
Olaf was kind of a dick at dinner, you know.
it's pretty much a pep talk. Because
Yeah.
It's always a pep talk with Maysira.
Yeah,
it's-
well, you know, Rhaenyra is really feeling bad.
Yes,
that she has
because
to kill
she knows
these
that a lot of
people.
people are gonna die.
Yeah.
A lot of collateral damage is gonna happen.
Well,
And
unfortunately,
she
war
really
is
didn't
war,
Well, yeah.
and like
War never
And
changes.
but she's not prepared for that, you know. Like seeing
We're on
it and
Vantage.
doing it, like,
Yeah,
it's
she's
a
still-
whole other story.
you know,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that is
than
true.
just hearing about in books like she was used to, you know, in the history.
Yeah.
And that's a good point, Jen, because yeah, you're right. Like she's doing everything in her power to avoid this,
Yes.
where the other side they want it.
They really do, which is crazy. Well, no, it's not crazy.
I mean,
Well, Allison,
That's what brings up this next scene, and I
but
know.
Allison is like on the doesn't really want
Well,
for herself.
Let's get to this next scene because
Hold
this
on.
is where everything just like
So one of the interesting things that I thought about this scene with Rhaenyra and
Mysaria.
is they're talking about all the innocent lives that
Oh,
are
yeah.
going to be
Yes.
lost, and she, you know, and Mysaria's just like, well, the gods are looking down on you, like the gods are in your favor, like they're
They
on
want you
your
to kill all
team.
these people.
Yeah, they're on your team, Rhaenyra. Like you got the gods on your team, like you
they
know.
okayed you
and
killing all them.
yeah.
the one scene where, you know, she asks, like, well, who's really going to be suffering? Like, who's really, like, the innocents that are going to be suffering in this? And then they kind of go quiet, and then you just hear, like, they look out over the water towards the dragons, and then you hear the dragon. So after they say, like, what if the innocents are really going to suffer?
Oh, they're
And then
talking
you
about the
hear
dragon.
I mean, I don't know if they were necessarily talking about the dragons, but the dragons are the ones that suffer the most
For the
out
record-
of this war. The people will fuck and have more children, and they will keep going. But
yeah.
after this war,
Yes.
there will be no more fucking dragons.
Yeah,
Until-
there's
And so
very
the
unlimited
dragons
supply.
are the real innocents that are suffering because they are just wild animals. They get
Yeah.
tamed by these people, and they're ridden by these people, and they're commanded by these people to do this stuff. The dragons aren't just like, yeah, these guys suck, those guys are cool.
Yeah.
They're just dragons.
Yes.
Yeah.
They hear the word Jakaris, it means fire, they blow fire, you
Yes.
know? So...
For the record, the
They're
dragons
just
are
soldiers. They're
innocent
pretty
in
much
all of
just
this.
soldiers.
Even Vhagar is
So I
innocent,
thought
although
that
she
was-
seems like she wants to fight sometimes.
She
Well-
just wants to nap, baby. She just wants to sleep. She's tired. She's been doing this for a long time.
That scene you're talking about, Lane. When I was watching it, I don't know why it made me think of an episode of Pokemon. I don't know if you guys ever watched it when they get lost in the island and the Pokemon, Team Rocket's Pokemon and Ash's Pokemon get together.
I remember that.
And Meowth is like telling him like, "Hey, why are you siding with them? They're the good guys. We're bad guys." And then Ekans and Aardvark are telling them like, "We're not bad. We do bad because our masters tell us to do bad." And then it goes like Pokemon, and it's cool what they say, like Pokemon aren't bad.
Yes.
Pokemon do things because their masters tell them to
Because they
do.
commanded.
Yeah,
They're
it's
commanded
just
to.
like the
The dragons are Pokemon, you guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
it's
they
like
are.
how
Charizard.
the
He's not a dragon,
Persians
though.
rode elephants into
Really?
war.
I'll fucking fight anyone.
I know. Me
He
too.
breathes fire. That's
What
a
were you
dragon.
gonna say, Matt? What were you
I
gonna
said
say?
it's just like when the Persians rode elephants into
That
battle.
is true. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
elephants are, huge land creatures that can cause devastating damage, but they don't know the sense of right and wrong. They just have their instincts.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they're being forced into.
So I thought
And-
that scene was really deep.
Yeah, that actually,
It's real deep, and it's
the
the
next
dragons
scene
that are
there.
going to be
But
the
this
people that
this
suffer
next
the
scene,
most.
I know, Lane, you and
Yep.
Jan were like thrown like for a complete loop here because full circle again, guys.
Yes.
Full circle once more time. So
Oh,
we're
Shanae.
we're at Dragonstone. Rhaenyra's asleep, and then
Oh.
And in comes her daughter.
Wake up, grab a bush and put a little makeup.
Like,
Allison is here to talk to you in secret.
Well, it's because no one wants to listen to her in Westeros, so she has to run back to her former friend.
Well, we don't know it's her at first, and then like he leads her outside, and they go into. I'm guessing it's like the waiting. Oh, actually, it's the same place where they had all the dragon seats, and there's a cloaked individual there. We don't see who it is. And then she comes into the light, and boom, yeah, it's freaking Allison. Full circle once again.
Yes. Doesn't this look familiar, guys?
Right?
But what she said.
Oh, you mean when Rhaenyra snuck into the fucking Red Keep?
When Rhaenyra pulled his sister act.
Yeah.
Full circle, you guys. It's a circle.
Yeah.
Like, it's a circle, okay?
Yeah.
Fucking TN turning triangles into squares.
Yeah, right?
But, dude, the conversation they have is just like,
know.
oh, my God. Like, Jen, I know you really like this scene.
Oh my gosh.
I think we all like this scene.
Yeah. Why
But for
don't
different
you like
reasons.
just talk about like Allison's little plea for mercy?
Right?
What happened to the plea for mercy that Rhaenyra had asked for? Huh? What about that?
It's too late.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude,
Isn't
I
that
like
what
the
you
way
told-
that she said that
Right?
to her.
Isn't that what you told her?
Yeah. So, and didn't you say that enough innocent blood was already shed? So there's no going back?
Mm-hmm.
Kettle, are you black?
Kettle, are you? Kettle meat pot.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just the whole entire time I'm looking at Allison like,
Oh my god.
bitch.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Like, taste these.
Yeah.
What is that? Your just desserts? How does that
Well,
taste?
I didn't. It's not just that, but I also looked at it as Rhaenyra's resolve. Like, I mean, in all honesty, like Rhaenyra could have been like, okay, you know, kind of falter, but she didn't. She stood fast, and like, this shit's gonna happen, and now there's no controlling it.
No.
It's the war machine is already
In motion.
in motion. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. And when I went to you first, like, you told me it was too late.
Yeah. I just like the fact that Rhaenyra basically just says, like, by the way, this is all your fault.
Pretty much.
It's just like, I was just doing what I thought your dad wanted.
And it's just funny because
And Rhaenyra had a rebuttal for that.
Yeah.
like Rhaenyra's like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And Alice is like, can I like just go away?
Yes. I'll
Wait,
take
what
Helena
did she say
and
to
my
her
granddaughter.
about her dad? She's like, oh, I was just doing what you wanted for your dad.
Yeah.
No, it was
She's-
like your dad never stopped loving
Your mother.
her.
Yes. Yeah, she was always his vision
Yes.
or some shit
Yes.
like that. She's like, oh, your father and I, we were fond of each other, but she was always his vision to know what was to be right.
Yeah.
What were you
But
saying?
the whole thing is like, oh, so that, and then you took on a lover, huh? And they said like, well, your dad was already dead when I did it.
Also, she points out, like, by the way, you banged him first.
Yeah. And so like, don't blame me. You
And-
did it too.
And it just goes to show that
Yes.
they are still
They're
petty
still-
about it. dude.
No, but they're still little girls.
Cole's pull must be
Yeah,
really
like,
good.
Cole's-
Don't blame me for that when you did exactly the same
yeah,
thing.
whenever they get back together, they just resort back to like
Yeah.
You know, 14-year-olds.
Yes.
14-year-olds that they were.
And
And then he saw like, your dad died, so I took comfort in another man's.
kind of
Yeah.
like you
Arms.
did. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I just had an epiphany. You remember Pan from Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Are they trying to say he's like Cole's like him? Because remember when Braun to the brothel and then they all whispered about how good Pan was? Like, are they trying to insinuate the same
oh,
thing
you
with
mean
Christian?
Podrick?
Podrick, there you go.
Dude, that scene is so cool. But yeah, deviate. Either way, Rhaenyra's final, like, I want to say demand. She basically tells her, because Alicent is telling Rhaenyra, okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna, Aemon's not gonna be at Red Keep in 3 days. You go there. I'm gonna leave the doors open and let you take the throne. Yes. Checkmate.
Yes.
And then Rhaenyra goes like, and what of the current king?
Yes.
And it's like, we'll run away. We'll leave. Nope. a kid for a kid.
A son for
I
a
gotta
son.
kill him.
Well, no, what she said before that is that I have to dispose of the opposition.
Yep.
Yes.
Like, because if I don't, it's just gonna come back to bite
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
And then, but when she said a kid for a kid, that was already
Done.
done.
Technically.
When they
No,
killed.
it wasn't though.
Okay, because Aemon.
Well, when blood and cheese.
Well, that was Eamon's thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
She
Aemon.
didn't. I mean,
Damon.
in the series, that was Damon's thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It was.
To kill Aemon.
It was.
Mhm.
Rhaenyra
She
never-
wanted Aemon. She didn't
Yeah.
want the little boy to be murdered.
Yeah.
She didn't even know the little boy was murdered until like everyone was like told her that it was she was getting blamed
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted Aemon, so technically she still needs a son for a son.
Yes.
You're right.
Either way, she straight
But
up.
it was technically still done.
Either way, she
It was.
tells.
It
Yeah.
was, but it wasn't
Because-
her. It wasn't her
Yeah.
demand, her instruction to do so.
I mean, I wouldn't have said, like, if I was Rhaenyra, I'm just saying myself, I wouldn't say that because, like, a fucking 5-year-old was murdered.
Exactly, yeah. But either way, Rhaenyra tells
But
her,
it
like.
is the reality of the situation. Like,
No, and it
That's
has
true.
like
it has more to
she
do with
lost
what
a
you
son,
said.
and Alicent is going to have to kill Aegon, her son, if Rhaenyra is going to be queen.
Yeah, also, when you
And-
win chess, you take the king.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't let it go.
So-
Nope.
Yeah.
But then
True.
that's the whole point of that was to just try to be like Rhaenyra pretty much calling Alicent out, saying like, you did all of this.
Yes.
All of this is because of you, and then you just want to run off into the sunset and just live a happy life.
Wash your hands of everything you did.
And just not take
Pontius
any
Pilate.
responsibility
Yeah.
for the actions that you have caused.
yeah, one way or
True.
another, you have to pay for your crime.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you can't just you can't have your
You
cake
don't get
and
a free
eat it
pass.
too.
Sacrifices must be
exactly. You can't have your
You
cake
cannot
and eat it
have
too.
your cake and eat it too, bitch. So
And
Yeah.
she tells her, it's
made.
like,
Cthulhu demands blood.
and she tells her, like, so what's it gonna be? Like, do you want this war to end? This is what's gonna happen. So what do you want it? And then you see Alicent just like Sophie's choicing it, and she's like, fine, you can kill.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's never gonna win any Mother of the Year, man. She's never
I
gonna
mean, she
win.
tried to make a case for her son. I'll say that much. I
Yeah,
mean,
she
she's like,
did.
well,
Like he's crippled, he's burned.
Yeah.
Like people might not even follow
Yeah.
him anymore. It's like doesn't
No.
matter. Doesn't matter.
No,
This is
because
what has to happen.
As long as he's breathing, he's still
Like,
opposition.
Yeah, he's still in opposition,
Like-
and
He can still be a
he
threat.
still has entitlement to the throne.
Exactly.
Although that means she would have to kill both Edwin and
Amen and Aegon.
and Aegon because like
Well, that
no, but
is
then
still the
also
plan.
the other son she has, right? That we haven't yet seen on the screen.
Daeron.
Daeron.
Yeah, there's another
like
one.
they would so that's like 3 sons to 1. Like
Well, I mean, I'm thinking that maybe if they see that Aegon is dead, they'll stop.
do you really think
Or she's just hoping that maybe that Aemon's gonna get killed in war, and the
Yeah.
other one also maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't. That's why
do you really think Aemon like I mean we know he dies, but if he wasn't to die,
I
you
know,
really
but I
think
think
he
that's-
would be like, "Oh, this bitch killed my brother. I'm gonna bend in you," and he'll be like, "No, fuck you."
No, it's not even about that. It's just that Rhaenyra already probably has it in her mind that those 2 guys could die because they're gonna go into battle.
Oh yeah, she already knows that.
You know?
And it's actually been noted that Daemon's sights are on Aemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Aemon is like he's seeking him out.
the only person that like
It's not really
that
yeah.
Aemon is scared of is Daemon,
Daemon.
his
Yeah.
uncle. That's
Yeah.
the only person he really is
That's
scared
because like Daemon is an actual threat.
of. Yeah.
Whether it's on dragon or
Hand
by
to hand.
sword.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, after this, see, like freaking Alicent was like, fine, all right.
Yep, she agrees to it.
And then after this scene, we have like a little montage of like,
You know this montage
Oh,
of
the
them
pieces.
going into battle? Do you know what that reminded me of? V for Vendetta. When he sets up all the dominoes.
Oh, the dominoes? Yeah.
And then he flicks them and then they all fall, but then there's one still standing.
Mm-hmm.
That I got those vibes.
Yeah.
I did too when I started seeing all the pieces coming. Yeah. That was awesome. That scene
yeah,
was
but
awesome.
we see the new dragon riders getting their armor put on, which was actually pretty nice armor, by the
Yes.
way, better than Aegon's by the
Every
record,
armor piece
better
you're
than
gonna
Aegon.
see is
For
gonna be
the
better
record.
Aegon.
Even Damon's armor was a little. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, did he get an upgrade on his armor? By the way,
That's
No, it's
that's
the
always
same.
been his
It's the same
armor. Yeah.
because it
just
looked a little lighter.
yeah.
It looked a little
Maybe
wider
they
in the chest.
shined it.
Maybe.
I
sure.
probably because it looked
They
like
spit
that
shined it
looks-
for this battle.
Yeah.
Like this
To
looks
that
pretty
bitch.
sticky.
And we see the armies. Oh yeah, this is actually the scene you're talking about of is it the Lannisters with their dragon?
Mm-hmm.
So we see all of the armies like marching to where they need to go. We have the High Towers, which is Ormond, who is Otto's brother, with Tessarion and Daerun, the Blue Queen. Like they're marching from Old Town towards King's Landing. Their route they're taking is gonna be cutting above Dorne and cutting through the Stormlands up into King's Landing. Then we have the Lannister army marching from the Casterly, the Westerlands. They're making their way into the Riverlands. So when you see them in the distance, you can see Harrenhal, because that's where they're trying to go.
Yep.
Then you have Cole's army that's marching from King's Landing, from the south. Essentially the same route that they were supposed to take earlier, but then they fucking took a fucking right and went to Rook's Rest and did all that bullshit. So now they're back there. So now they're taking their original route where they're supposed to be going left. So essentially, like, Harrenhal is, they have the Lannisters coming from the west, and then Cole and Gwain's army coming from the south.
Yeah.
Then we have
Daemon
and his army in the Riverlands, which is all the Rivermen, the Tullys, most of the Riverland bannermen have all come together. Then we also have the Stark army, all the Greybeards marching down from the north. They finally made it. They're crossing
the bridge.
the twins. So when all of those armies, so when they meet up with like the Lannisters and the Rivermen, that's going to be a huge battle.
Yeah. And then we also see Thailand with the Armada going towards the
pirates.
blockade. Freaking Sharog like next to him.
Yeah,
goes
so
like,
they're
it's like, hey Pooh Bear, let's go get these baddies.
right. Hey, baby daddy. Right, and
You
so
better
they're
not die. You owe me some babies.
So the thing about them is they're in the storm. They're under the cover of the storm that Corliss mentioned to Alan in the beginning of that episode, talking about like watch the birds are flying low and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's what that's referring to. So
Yeah.
they have no idea, because Corliss is only thinking that they have the Lannisters fleet and the the Greyjoys.
Yeah, the Greyjoys,
fleet, which they don't actually have yet because the Greyjoys are still neutral at this point. So
Man,
they're
they
just
held out as long as they
expecting.
could.
So they're just expecting like those two fleets, which they're not worried about because Corliss's fleet is way bigger and way more powerful than those two. So that's why he's just kind of just like he's not really doesn't seem bothered that he's about to sail out to war, right?
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, the people I'm going to war with, they're bitches,
Yeah,
so
you
I don't
see-
have anything to worry about.
You see him and Alan like they're making their way to the ship to
Go to war.
The queen
who never was, and then we finally see
Rhaena. We finally see Rhaena.
Fighter dragon.
Fucking Rhaena finds her damn
Ugly
like
motherfucker.
dumpster cat dragon.
Hey, that over no dragon at all.
You find it out back by the dumpster. It's missing patches of fur. It's eating trash.
It looked malnourished.
It's fucking
Yes.
I didn't
pissed. It's hissing at you because it's mad that you found it.
Yes.
It's fucking,
I don't think it was malnourished.
I
It
don't
had
think
discoloration on its neck,
it was.
dude. It looked
I
like
don't think it was supposed to be malnourishment, though. I think it's just supposed to be like
Patchwork.
it's like Sheep Stealer is just described as an ugly brown dragon.
it's a
He's
lowborn
not-
dragon.
Yeah, he's just
He should have been Ulf's.
Thing about he was just a dragon that hatched on Dragonstone. He wasn't tossed in a crib. He was just a wild dragon. Nobody claimed him, so he just kind of went off. So that's why.
His fur's all disheveled.
Yeah, he's just like whatever, like he's lived the hard life. He hasn't fucking lived in a pit where people bring him sheep and pigs all the time. Right?
Yeah, he's
like,
eating
everything
wild
I had-
animals.
Everything I have, I had to fight for.
Yep.
And then here we come to pretty much the end of the episode.
Oh, there's
No,
one more
one more
person.
thing.
there's one more person that they showed in the
Otto
montage.
Hightower.
Oh, that's right. I
Otto
In
forgot.
prison.
Hightower's in a box somewhere in a cage.
It looks like
somewhere.
a prison.
It's a
Yeah.
POW camp.
And now we know why he hasn't been answering the Ravens.
Who has him?
That's what I want to know.
Oh wait, you guys don't know?
No.
Oh, this is new.
I forgot.
Well, now we know
okay.
why he hadn't been answering. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either.
but who has him? I don't really. Who
Yeah.
would have him?
I don't
and
know.
why?
We'll find
This
out in
is
3
new.
years.
Like, this
Yeah.
is
This is totally the show.
Something the show is doing. Yeah.
This is uncharted waters for us.
Yeah.
Because in the books, Thailand is at King's Landing, and Otto's the one that's out there at the Triarchy
okay.
getting
Yeah.
them. So yeah, I
So
don't
this
know
is a
where.
completely different-
I have no idea where Otto is. I have no idea who has him.
Yeah, this is all the show is doing. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch it just to see if I can get a little hint of what
Yeah,
might have
the
happened.
silhouette.
Yeah.
And then, like I was saying this earlier, here's where the episode kind of wraps up. We see Laris and Aegon in a cart filled with like goats, because I guess they're gonna go bang some
I think they're
goats.
filled with.
they're gonna go live with the
ravens.
goat
I think they're
fuckers.
filled with birds and shit. but
Yeah.
Fleeing
I don't think
King's
they're
Landing.
There's like
No, there
birds.
weren't any goats, but
Yeah.
I would just say that because that's where they're going. And you see Allison making her way out of Dragonstone to basically get ready to sabotage her own people. And then finally you see
well, it's that or everybody dies.
exactly, and then you see the contrast between Allison and Rhaenyra looking out towards the sea, and basically this is it. Here we go, and boom, show ends.
All the shoes.
And now
all
we
the
have to
chess
wait
pieces are in place.
Until next season to see what happens.
It's just one of those things that, like, dude, I hated this ending, by the way.
I didn't.
Like, and actually, a lot of fans are split as well. The episode got like a 9.5, right?
In all
No.
honesty,
No, lower.
A lower?
in all honesty, I
think
do
it was
like
like a
how
6
they
something.
ended it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was like
because
a 6.2.
hopefully,
That's because people wanted a big battle as a
Yeah.
big finale, or someone to
Damn
die.
right. Yes.
If someone didn't die at the finale, therefore it was trash. Like,
Exactly.
man,
It
Exactly.
made it better
Fine.
if we would have known.
but
At Otto.
Exactly.
I mean, the
Jen just wanted Cole to
the
die.
thing is,
Yes, I
is
did.
they could have had some battles, but like it would have left some big cliffhangers. But I think it's just gonna give the like season 3 and 4. It's gonna be every scene is gonna be big. Like every episode's gonna be
Someone's gonna die.
big. You know what I mean? It's
And every
gonna be
episode
like battle, recovery scene from the battle. Battle, recovery scene, battle.
And
You
that-
know what I mean? It's gonna be such a fast pace
Yes.
that it's gonna go so fast that if you
The
the only way they would have been able to stretch it out 4 seasons is if they would have had one season where they had to set up everything. And that's what season 2 essentially was. Like season 1, I mean, maybe they could have expanded season 1
It was
into
a
season 2
70-minute
a little
trailer.
bit more.
Yes.
But I mean, it's fine. I'm not too upset about it.
No.
I just know that
Yeah. Either way, the fans were split, and you were right. That episode got 6.5, the lowest of all of them. After that, it was Regent because, not Small Folk actually because
the kiss
of the kiss.
that broke the
Then from
internet.
there is Regent, which has got a 7.4, and then for some reason Harrenhal got 7. The Burning Mill got 7.7. It's like, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good.
Yeah, when I saw the ratings of some of these, I was like,
well,
The
here's
Burning
thing.
Mill was the blood and cheese episode. So
Yeah.
that's why it got a high rating.
maybe child death doesn't
You know
sit
what?
with
Yeah.
people.
You're right.
But here's
True.
the thing, people, like, read more fantasy books and
Yeah.
you'll be numb to fucked up shit.
Also, it's kind of the reality as well. You
Well-
just don't see it more often.
well,
And then you see Rhaenyra the Cruel and A Son for a Son got 8.3s. What were you saying, babe?
well, it's like, it's fantasy, guys. Come on.
Mhm.
It's not, like, I know stuff like that does happen for real, but,
Mhm.
like, come on. Leave
The
that
more
in the
you,
real
the more you
action.
realize that that's the reality of it, the
Yes.
better you're off.
Yes, I know, but if like I'm an avid high fantasy reader, and a lot of fucked up shit happens in those books.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to entertain you.
Yes, it is.
You know?
And how else can you draw a good drama with magical assassins?
Yeah.
You
And
know what I
violence
mean?
has always been used
Yeah,
for
there were-
entertainment purposes. I don't know why it shocks.
Also, there were only
It's
2
for shock value.
episodes. Also,
That's what it is.
there were only 2 episodes that I got a 9 or higher rating. Do you guys can guess which ones they were?
It's the Rook Rest episode, and I believe
the red dragon and the gold.
yeah,
the
I got a
Renaissance-
high rating.
That was the highest rated one, 9.5, and then the red sewing got
Are
a
we?
9.
Oh, for just this season, yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna
for
say
this
the red
season,
sewing.
But I only see this going for 2 more seasons.
Well, they already
They
said they
said
were
it.
doing
They
3.
said they're only
So,
it's
season 4.
It's done
4
after
seasons.
season
Okay.
4.
Yeah, they're ending at season 4, so
So
3 years to go, folks.
No, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
But that's okay
2026.
because
Next year we
a
get-
better show is going to return. And
No,
that'll
it's
be
going not return. It's going to start premiere.
premiere, and that'll be Rings of Power.
Rings of Power, yeah.
Yeah, because
Well, Rings of Power is coming back, and then next year they're doing the the duck and egg or
oh right, Dunk and Egg,
dunk.
Oh,
Dunk
that's
and
right.
Egg is
Dunk
coming
and Egg, and which is
Dunk and Egg.
which they're novellas, so they're really small books to read.
It's gonna be the Blackfire Rebellion, which is really interesting.
Yes, and it's
The
why are
real
they
battle
going with
of
that?
the bastards. What?
Why are they going with the Blackfires?
The Blackfire Rebellion, because
Yeah.
that's what takes place in those novellas.
Yeah, but
essentially.
yeah, but Dunk and Egg's adventures.
Not really relevant to this episode. Either way,
Anyway.
fantastic episode. Not in my opinion, not the best way to end the season, but still.
Fuck you! It was the best way to end the season. We got all the exposition out of the way. So next season is going to be
just-
blood
yes.
and more
And
blood and
blood.
carnage
Everyone-
and more
everybody
fire.
wanted
And
for
death.
this season.
And poor
Yeah.
baby dragons dying.
Everybody's
Death, rest,
dying.
death.
All the dragons will die.
Either way, again, this was a great experience, and I'm glad that we did a review series for this. Maybe we can do another one down the line.
So Ed, do we turn you on to Game of Thrones?
No, I'm not gonna invest time
You
into
should.
Lying motherfucker.
As much
You have
as-
nothing else going
As
on.
much as I have a lot going on right now, as much as as appealing
right
it
now,
seems.
not in like a month though.
No, I do. My plate is
3
full right now.
months.
As appealing as it seems, it's just
Trying to
it's
sound
not my
busy.
not my cup of tea. But I can see why it's such a huge thing.
You know, I was talking to my friend John, and he's like, he was talking shit about how I was gonna go watch the episode, and I'm like, dude, you'll probably like it if you sat down and watch it. He goes, you know what? You're right, but I don't need another universe because I get fucking obsessed. And he's like, I'm already way too deep in with the boys and Invincible, The Walking Dead. Like, another universe is just gonna cripple me.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely looking forward to the next season, folks. 2026, 2027,
26.
26.
Yes.
You know, let us know what you thought of season 2 in the comments below. If you're on my YouTube, if you're on Spotify, let us know. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Just reach us on Discord. We definitely would want to talk about
Yes.
this.
And also, please give your opinion on who you think who has Otto Hightower.
Yeah, let's start.
Be
the
really
conversation
interested
about
to
that.
know
Yeah,
from
let's hear some
Yeah.
from the
theories.
fans of these series.
Because this isn't based on
or
the
if you've read the books, or something.
No, but
maybe
this
you
isn't
might.
based on the
It's
book,
not-
so this
yeah,
is good
this
for
is-
everyone right here.
Like, this isn't something from the book. So
This
I
is
have no
this is
idea
one where
where
we're gonna
it
see
is.
videos of a bunch of people with a wall full of like. So this is why Otto Hightower is being held by Darren. So
Yes.
Darren was this, and then this happened.
We'll go down the crazy loop with you.
Hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell not?
No, the Red Witch has fucking Otto Hightower.
I'm calling it. Rickard was the main player all along. Rickard did all this.
No, it was Sir Strong. He's behind it all.
That diva, he wanted to rebuild his harem hall. So like, how can I get this? I'll start a war.
He's like, I am the one that set up the Ice and Fire saga.
Hey, Matt. He did. He pulled the city. It's like, I'll start a war so I can get everything for myself. What are you gonna
That's
say, man?
so funny.
And he's been like, oh, well, this guy has money, so in resources that we could definitely use to rebuild this castle.
I mean, it's kind of obvious because in the episode where he's in there, like, so you're gonna pay for all this, right? Any final thoughts, you guys? As far as the whole, the season, the series, everything.
okay, for like the whole season.
Because we're at the 2-hour mark, so we gotta wrap it up.
No, we don't. But like for the whole season, I thought it was really good. Like, like for something that's like really more like the actors did such an amazing job. The dialogue was so good. It just pulls you in and sucks you into that world.
Yes.
And like the character development was really good. Like you see them turn they turn cheek or whatever the term is for that. And I'm mostly attracted to things that are like snappy. You know, I need my pretty colors because ADHD and all that. But they did such a great job, and also maybe because I'm a huge fan of the books. Like I hope they just do it right and not give us a shitty ending like they did with Game of Thrones. Like I think that's why they took such a long time with both seasons to get all this exposition done and down, so that way they can like properly flush it out.
Yes.
What about you, babe? Any thoughts?
Well, I thought the 2 seasons were really good because from somebody that hasn't seen Game of Thrones and hasn't read the books or nothing, it really did a good job captivating me with the drama of all these people.
Yes.
Dude, like the deep dive she took, man. Like,
drama.
I had to pull her out every now and then. It's like,
I went full on like,
you gotta eat.
I don't even know how I did it. I just saw the whole season 1 in like almost a day, 2 days with most. And then
That's
season
so
2
funny.
was like, okay, season 2 is out. So I was like, okay, check.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's
It's
just how good quality, like for the character development, like Matt said, and all the stuff. Like I really got invested in a lot of the characters. Maybe a little too much, because then I started getting pissed when people were dying.
That's why you never get
That's
attacked.
a good
That's
concept to like an actor doing their job real. If you can extract an extreme emotion out of someone, you're doing something right.
Damn right. Yeah. People love to hate Cole. He's just that good.
Yes, he is.
And then finally, our master of thrones, our hyper focused lady here, Lane, who basically carried this miniseries.
I've been so excited about this series. I fell in love with it. I loved Game of Thrones. I'm just really excited. I mean, the first episode is going to be it's going to be a really big episode. They're going to hit us really hard. The first episode's going to be a battle. It just depends on which battle they're going to do.
It should be the gullet.
It's going to be either gullet or honey well or whatever. Either one of those, because they kind of happen really close. But I think the gullet is going to be first. And if that's true, like everything that they've been doing with Jace this whole season is going to like really fuck everyone up.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm expecting.
Well, I mean, I'll spoil it right fucking
You
now.
can spoil
The
us.
spoilers! So the spoilers...
Everyone dies.
No, so...
he dies at the Battle of Gullet.
Yeah, in the Battle of the Gullet, here's the spoiler. The Battle of the Gullet, Jace dies trying to help Corlys and his fleet against the pirates. The pirates come across... The pirates intersect the boat that has the younger Targaryen sons. So Aegon the Younger and Viserys the Second.
Yes.
They're on that boat. They get captured. This is the first big battle that's gonna involve like the new dragon riders, Vermithor, Ulf, Hugh, and whatever. It's all these dragons descend
Adam.
and Adam, yeah, they all descend
Not
on this
Alan.
battle
No, I got it right.
following Jace. Jace is leading the charge, and Jace gets like fucked.
They like when they shoot him out of the sky, they fucking shoot him out.
Well,
of the sky.
it'll be an interesting.
So the
it'll
first
be a
battle's
good sight
gonna
to
be
see.
hard. We're gonna lose Jace in the beginning of season 3,
Well, there goes the
which
air.
is why I think that they've been laying so heavily on him and trying his like going through the struggle and having these
See, this is
issues
what I
with the
mean.
dragon riders and
Trying to get you to care about the character. and then
exactly that's what they
He
do.
is a fan
As-
favorite. Like
As
for,
soon as you care about the
Despite the
character,
powder,
they care
yeah.
them up.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's like for
He's
people
great.
who watch the show and didn't read the books. He is a fan favorite for the
Pouting,
watchers.
pouting aside.
because
Yeah. So we're gonna lose him in the first episode, most likely, and that's gonna just trigger a whole chain of Rhaenyra rage.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's gonna really get her, and we're gonna see a huge change in her character for season 3. You know, one of the big thing that's also gonna happen is they're gonna take King's Landing. That's gonna be episode 2 or 3 where that happens. They take King's Landing over.
But they don't hold it for very long.
No.
They do hold it for a while, though.
Oh,
They
for a
hold it
while,
for a
but
chunk.
they do lose it.
They do lose it, but
I don't know
yeah,
if it's accurate, but I heard 6 months or so.
like they
They
hold,
hold
yeah.
it for 6 months.
No, they hold. I think they have King's Landing for almost a year.
Ah, okay.
No, but
Because
it was
time-
pretty short when I saw this
It's
thing.
it's short, but it's like I don't know when you think of like
It'll be like 2 episodes at the
Yeah.
most.
you know what I mean when you think of like how they move through time in this series.
Yes.
It's so much fast. So like 6 months is like an episode essentially, or
Or an
2
episode and a
episode.
half.
You know what I mean? It goes really fast. So they'll speed it up way faster.
yeah.
But yeah, it's season 3 is going to be a lot, and all this like carnage and all the battle that everyone bitched. PS2 didn't like the season 2 didn't have, like it'll have it in this one, so people should be very like satisfied.
Well, there you have it, folks.
What are your thoughts, Ed? You didn't give a
I did
review.
give my thoughts. I told you it's a great show. It was a great season. It's a great show. I see the appeal. Still not my cup of tea. I prefer sci-fi. You guys already know this. But at the end,
But sci-fi doesn't have dragons.
but at the end, you can't have cyber dragons.
They're different.
At the end,
Different worlds.
at the end, folks,
you mean the sandworms?
it's definitely worth a watch. It's on HBO Max and streaming on a couple other platforms. If you want to knock out a day or two, just binge it. Definitely go for it, because if someone like me can
It's
enjoy
going to take
it,
16 hours. Like, each episode is an hour long.
It's gonna take 16 hours.
he's got it all
Shut
planned out.
up.
But like I said, if someone like me can find the appeal in it and enjoy it as I'm watching it, it was great. And it was also great recording these episodes. This is our first time that we review an entire series from the beginning of an episode to the end of the season. Hopefully we could do it in 3 years again.
We're going to do it sooner. You better watch Rings of Power.
No, I'm talking about House of Dragon. I'm talking about House of Dragon.
obviously, we're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, if we're still around, we'll definitely do it. And as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support. Thanks for literally sitting down for 2 hours and hearing everybody just jibber jabber about the show.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Like, we'll keep the next couple episodes short and sweet, so you
They
guys
will
don't
be.
have to like
No, we won't.
have your butts get numb like we are right now. We're all numb right now.
I'm
You
stuck
just
to the chair.
stare.
Again, as always, thanks for listening. Remember, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, follow on Spotify, and as always, thank you for listening. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Dracarys.
Dracarys.
Let's sing the song real quick. Let's sing the song.
Oh shit, the shanty.
No, it's okay. No.
I mean, the
Bye.